Super. BS.
Yo, 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 what is up, our little listeners? It is it's episode 46. Great to be here. We are super stoked to be here too. So super duper stoked. Real quick, some housekeeping items. Make sure you email us at superbscast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us your questions, your comments. We'll address them on the show. That'd be super fun. Also, make sure to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever else you listen to us on the interwebs. That'd be great to get your feedback. We love doing the show for you guys, and we want to keep improving it. So keep that feedback coming. Also, hit us up on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So with all that being said, please allow me to introduce our panel this evening. We got some Dr. Donna in the house, right?
Hey.
Hey, Donna, what's up, man? How are you?
Good man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a while.
Why has it been a while? We do this all the time.
Well, yeah, it's been like 7 days, so I guess you're right.
Yeah. Is that too much for your lawyer brain? Or I mean, you remember a lot of things.
Wow, Donna, really coming on hot tonight. No. We also got the Brank and Bank, right?
Baby Brank.
Yep. Happy birthday. Happy 16th. That's huge.
Thank you.
Your quinceañero was
boy.
just
Baby
yesterday. Yes.
All day.
And then right here we got. Is that you just laughing, Jank? Was that your laugh that I just heard?
No, that was yours.
Oh wow, good one, Jank. You're really fiery tonight. Your fiery Irish side is kicking in.
Yep.
What are you up to?
Just excited to be here. Excited to hear all about the games you've played this week.
Yeah, just lean into this video game space with us.
Yeah.
It's a good season to be in.
It is.
So thank you all for that great opening. We also have a very special guest with us here tonight. We have the one and only first listener ever of the show and great friend of the show, Vit Vit Mesquite. What else? You have other names?
Vita Vita.
Vita Vita.
Vita Vita.
Vita Vita Peanut Vita. Anyways, what's up? What's up, Jakey? What are you doing?
Just reading.
Reading.
On the newest Nicholas Sparks novel. Autumn Love.
That's awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome, man. How far into that are you?
Almost done.
Nice.
No one's died yet, but it's great.
No one's died.
Noise.
Have you cried a lot?
Oh, yes.
What was your cry per page ratio like as compared to the Notebook? Like how often were you crying in this?
Well, first off, let's compare it to Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah, that's better actually.
And it's about equal.
Equal?
You know, a
Yeah.
couple times per page.
A couple times per page. That's,
Vita Vita, love it.
that's
Is
pretty
it like
average.
the Frodo face kind of cry, or
When Frodo says he's gonna take the ring
Yeah.
and no one else will, baller moment. There were tears.
like dude.
that.
there were tears?
We just watched that. Me and Aaron, not me and Jank, but me and Aaron watched that last night. And Aaron, yeah, the wifey,
The wifey.
Aaron
yeah.
was
like in your
All about
house.
that.
sobbing, blah, blah, all the crying.
Except for that was definitely David.
I actually don't cry in the first
Dave,
disc.
that was you.
I save all crying for the second disc, as that's when all like the
Two Towers,
my captain,
yeah.
my king stuff, like when Boromir dies, you know, all the really.
Whoa!
all
Spoiler
really
alert.
So yeah, what are you guys all up to? What games are you guys playing this week? Brank and Bank. Why? Since you weren't here last week, why don't you tell us what games you're playing, my brah?
Well, I've been playing Far Cry 5, but...
Okay, cool. That's great.
I just want to chime in here as your resident doctor. I want to remind our listeners to drain their ears before they listen. We will know. Dave will know. No key jiggling.
I didn't drain my ears yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, just got to cough a little bit real
Drain
quick.
both ears and call me in the morning.
Just remember, we will know.
Well, Far Cry, that's kind of short for Brian, but Josh, can we
Frankie.
Yeah, thank you. I really
just one?
really appreciate that. No, I've been playing quite a bit of it, but I'll just get out my beefs because we're going to hear about that game a lot this week.
Talk about the cows you can kill.
Yes,
in the game?
I hate because you can kill cows. I won't play it. I am
Cow
now
level.
Hindi, which refuses the belief of killing
Can
cows.
definitely kill cows.
They refuse the belief of killing cows.
Yeah, they refuse
still
the
do it.
belief. So
They
if they see
definitely
something,
do
they
it.
don't believe somebody's doing that, okay? They only kill the cows.
more
but
of
they
a
won't believe
mesquite
in
guy
it.
myself?
I just want to warn everyone that Brank is going to start off the show with wrong opinions so that by the end of the show, we're in the right again.
Okay, yeah, that's actually
So
false.
this is the Fox News portion of the show, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, you
Ooh,
mean,
political.
okay,
Look
this
at
is
there.
a political thing.
All right. Anyways, can you talk about the game before I cut you off again?
Yeah, okay, please do. So I don't love the perk system. So they removed the XP system that was in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 with a perk system where you have to do set achievements to unlock skill points. I don't hate it, but I do wish they would have used that in conjunction with an XP system. Like, oh, you kill 5 bears, you get 1,000 XP. So that encourages you to do stuff instead of this where it's like, I gotta use a flamethrower, I guess, or else I can't unlock the 4th weapon. I don't really want to play with a flamethrower, but I have to, or else I can't
You
unlock.
have to kill a total of 10 guys in a game with millions of enemies.
Okay, yeah,
Sounds
that
like
is
heaven.
that is another crazy thing. The game, not a beef with it, but there are not a million
I didn't-
people
It
in
is-
Montana.
It
I
is
didn't-
so easy to kill 10 people
I
with a
didn't know that.
flamethrower.
So the perks where you unlock the perks, you have to do certain things to unlock them.
Yes,
you
yeah,
don't just
they have literally
progress.
a perks
Now,
challenge.
I want to just address that I think this is a better system than what they've done because it makes the game be fun instead of just bullshit rewarding you for
False.
no good reason.
Okay.
Just for sitting there and whacking off, giving you rewards.
Well, I like to whack
that-
off on
I
my
missed the
games.
last of the games.
Was that when they sold the Connect?
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that this is better because it does, I would never even attempt to use a flamethrower in a previous Far Cry game, whereas I won't use it now that I've done 10 kills with it, but I enjoyed flaming 10 people, so...
That's like in
Talk a little bit more
I
about
like doing
that.
my flame
Yeah.
MMOs, okay?
Yeah,
so I'm
so
against
speaking
this.
of flaming, what else do you think about the game, Brink?
I'm interested in the story. I actually think that's good. I know a lot of people were criticizing it because it doesn't have teeth, as a lot of people were saying. It doesn't have one way or the other. It doesn't speak
Is
to
that because they're rednecks?
yes, because
teeth?
rednecks have no teeth.
I wonder.
I'm
I have an interesting thought about the story. I wonder if people that don't come from a religious upbringing would get less out of the story because I'm looking at the characters and seeing both things that I didn't experience directly growing up because I didn't grow up in a cult-like environment. But since most American cults are some weird offshoot of Christianity, there's things I can see, and then I also know people that have been in cults or involved with like pyramid type schemes that are essentially cults, like the one that's coming out right now about the Smallville people. Did you see that one?
No, I don't know
The
about
chick
this
from
cult.
Smallville's been involved in some sex cult called
one, the blonde one
Nexium.
or
Yeah,
the-
the blonde one.
I barely got
Yeah,
out
I
of
can
it.
imagine.
Yeah.
The other one.
She's in a cult, man.
The
I
other
see
one
her,
came
I'm
out
like,
and said she was
There's so
involved.
much talking over. So bad.
I'm sorry.
What were you saying, Jake?
Huh?
were you
Oh no,
saying?
I was saying the girl that played the dark hair girl. She also they were accusing her of being involved. too.
She said that she got out of it before any of that weird stuff went down. But yeah, anyway, the point is that all of the heralds of the cult leader you're trying to flesh out, all of the language they use and the things that the people talk about what they do is pretty accurate cult stuff. So I don't know how deep the story goes per se, from a overall narrative, but at least the environment is very interesting.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not trying to have it speak a ton about these topics. I think it's interesting. I think it's a really cool discussion. I like the moment-to-moment gameplay. I did get to play a little bit of the co-op. I would love to play more of it because
Oh,
that's
shots fired.
yeah. Shots fired at my friends on the podcast.
We don't-
who
didn't want to
It's
play
just something
co-op
about
at
getting
midnight.
a co-op invite at midnight where I'm I think I'm almost done.
start living life to the fullest. YOLO. Okay,
You were
my
watching
friends?
Howl's Moving Castle or something. instead of playing
Actually, I was
Far Cry.
watching Whisper of the Heart, one of the best studio
Actually,
games
Howl's Gothic Castle.
That's what I said.
Howl's Gothic.
Any more thoughts on the game, Brink?
What do you think of the perk system?
Let's go back to that.
Where's the eject button for Josh's chair?
For JJ, why are you doing this to us, my
I
bro?
uninstalled it.
No, I like the game, but honestly, game 2 that I've been playing has taken up all my time. I've been playing Ni no Kuni II, Revenant Kingdom. I was a huge fan of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, the
Rich.
Rich.
Wrath of
It
the
was-
White Rich.
Yeah, it's just some very rich.
Narrated
white
Very,
guy.
very politically timely right now.
It was,
Episode 8 would have
The white rich people.
That's what it's about. It's their wrath, man. No, the first game was actually done in conjunction with Studio Ghibli. And it was really cool. They had about
This one was done in adjective with Studio Ghibli.
adjective. No, it's conjunction.
What does that mean?
With cooperation, like they work together. There was a partnership.
It's
Between
called adjective?
No, I'm
no,
just
he was-
throwing a different grammar term.
Yeah.
Oh, grammar.
Oh, grammar.
Kelsey grammar.
It's the grammar, bro.
But no, it's great. It does not have the same anime scenes, like anime cutscenes that the first had, because Studio
Because it's a
Ghibli's...
different game? Is that why they're not the same?
But yeah, that's
That's a
why
good
they're not
point.
the exact
Are
same.
they 25 minutes long?
They're
I watched one. Wait,
not
so when
even
you say they're not the
kidding.
same, as in they're just like they're not the same art style, or?
No, there's no anime cutscenes.
Oh,
so
that was like the
It's a
coolest thing
book.
about that. That was like one of
But
the
it's-
coolest things about that game.
It's
though.
the whole game is still styled that way.
Yeah, it is still
Yeah.
styled that way, but because Studio Ghibli is not working with them, they didn't add those. And it was I saw those cutscenes were like 20 minutes of the previous game, which was
That's like just your threshold. That's like right there.
yeah, man, it was crazy. 20 minutes total though of like a game I probably spent 60 hours with, so it was spread out like for very short periods. They were normally about a minute tops. But no, it's really great. A lot of people were, when I was reading the reviews, I was like, oh man, am I gonna like this? Like the combat system is really simple, and I've been really digging like games like Neo and Dark Souls recently. I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna be fun. I just mash buttons, but I've died actually like several times. Like one of our favorite like journalists, Jason Schreier from Kotaku, he wrote that you can essentially not pay attention to combat and just like hit the mash button and kill everybody. That's not true. When you fight some of the bosses that are tainted, yeah.
Do you think this speaks to your character versus Jason Schreier's character? Do you think he's?
Yeah,
are you
he's just-
are you insecure about it at all?
He's a elite
I
gamer.
mean, as a
I'm,
16-year-old baby boy, I know
yeah.
the emotions that you're probably going
I'm
through.
a really
Raging
Twitch gamer. But anyway, so he mentioned that, and I was worried that was going to be a flaw of the game, but I've enjoyed it. It's, basic battles are really simple. You could essentially just hit spam attack and win those, but there are more complex challenges. And then on top of that, the story is really cool. Like I thought the first one, after it was like a really personal story about a mother who passed away and trying to go to fantasy land to resurrect her, was like really crazy and really, really cool.
Yeah, it is a cool story.
And it, it was really magical. This one I thought, it's just about a guy who wants to make a kingdom where people can be happy. I thought it's going to be lame. But I love the cutscenes. Like the first or the second real city that you go to is based after like Hong Kong, and like all the characters have Chinese names and their dogs. And you finish the city, and then after you like do the challenge you do there, where somebody is like suffering from greed, which has inflicted him, and like you kind of relieve him from that. You can do these side quests, which allow you to build your city. And building the city, I'd read about it, and I'm like, this must happen at like minute 1. It took me about 8 hours to get to the point where you can start building your kingdom. But the kingdom building is so great. As Dr. Dar knows, Bravely Default and Bravely Second have a really cool like kind of city building mechanic where you can gain people.
I forgot about those.
I love it.
Those are so great.
That was one of my favorite parts of those games, and this is like that times 10. It is, you get special characters who all have actually kind of interesting side quests. It's something that I wish Western role-playing games did more often. But
Yeah, Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2. Yeah, okay, yeah, Mass Effect 2 did that, but there were a lot of Dragon Age Inquisition side quests that were like, go kill the things, to bring back
I feel
the
like
thing.
those are different though than the actual side quests of the game. I feel like they don't really classify them this way, but Dragon Age Inquisition seems to have like actual story content side quests and then like fetch quests.
Yeah, and this game has those too, but their fetch quests are so simple that there's this guy who just hands them out and he gives you these tokens for him. There's 3 types of currencies in the game. And I just go down the list.
those.
Talk about those in depth. Yeah, we'd be here all night. I just go down the list clicking accept all. And then if I have the items, I just literally turn them all in. And then with those, you can recruit some of the people that they were like, this isn't worth getting a personalized side quest. But every character so far in my kingdom, and I have 26 people, are all specialized in a certain thing.
Brag.
So brag. And I just got to level 2, which increases my land. Like I thought, oh man, I built all 18 buildings. There's not going to be anything else to build. It just expanded the land, and now there's like 30 new buildings to build. And the longer you leave the game on, the more you get the second type of currency, which is King's Guilder.
Now, are you rewarded for every single action you take?
And are you encouraged to build the things that you wouldn't normally build, that you don't find enjoyable to build?
You are rewarded for pretty much everything in the game. So
We're making fun of you so hard right now.
Okay.
Just so you know.
But every action is encouraged. I like that brag on it. But no, a good example would be like, so you put somebody who's really good at farming, you put them on the farm, you're going to get a farming item from them just
so
that they
You
gather.
make them sell drugs to kids.
That's the type of farms you make. You're going to get that item from them, and then you're going to use that item to get somebody else to come to your kingdom later, or to cook an item that somebody needs to come to your kingdom. So I don't know what they did, but I think the creators of this, Level 5, who also make like the Dragon Quest series, I remember them from Dark Cloud on PS2.
We know everything they make.
They're making a relevant game based on the Chinese black market, right? Called Need No Kidney.
Need No Kidney 2. Yeah, that's their main game. But,
you recruit people to your black market by taking their organs.
That's the only one I play.
So, Brink, how many hours have you put into this game so far?
I've played like 11 hours.
11 hours. How many hours are you foreseeing?
It's supposed to be 30 to 40, but I am on chapter 5 of 9, and because the side quests are so much fun, because you get different characters who increase your kingdom, who let you build stuff quicker, who then give you more money. You know, it's this cycle. I don't think I'll be finished for like 60 or 70 hours.
Really? Because it's just you just said chapter 5 and only 11 hours.
Yeah, Brian, that math doesn't matter.
Are like the first couple chapters very short?
So the first couple chapters are really linear. There's no kingdom involved. Okay. So you don't get till chapter 8, which is chapter 4. And you don't get to unlock the ability to get anyone into your kingdom till chapter 5.
Did you say? Oh, yeah, I was about to say.
Hour 8, chapter 4. Because you said chapter 8, which is also chapter 4.
Sorry.
Chapter 4. Let's go back here.
Check the tape. Can we check the tape, please?
So Brink, I remember a couple weeks ago when you talked about Ni no Kuni, you had said something about the battle system being potentially upgraded from 1 to 2.
Yeah, so I hadn't played at that point. This is the first time. But yeah, so they changed it. I did like the original a lot. It was a Pokemon-style game. You collected monsters. These monsters had different attributes and abilities. You'd use them in battle against other monsters. This one is now an action RPG. It is really quick. Every character has a projectile weapon as well as skills. And then you collect these things called Higgledies, which are like really... So the character designer from Studio Ghibli stayed on, as well as the composer. So it still has a lot of Studio Ghibli traits. And these beast-type things, you can have 4 of them in your party. And like while you're fighting... you can run around and launch their special attacks. And you can get different ones do different things. There is a place that you build that can allow you to make new ones or change each ability or level each one up based on giving it fruit. There are so many systems in this game, I don't know how many I will interact with, but I want to interact with a lot of them. And that's something I know I mentioned a couple weeks ago.
Is the ability to use your Higgle, what are they called?
Higgledies.
Higgledies abilities while you're in like the overworld view, is that analogous to when you're in Pokemon Red from 100 years ago and you can like swim in the water if you have a Lapras in your party?
So no, that's actually based on your spells. So you'll learn spells from the place that you get that make spells that like create bridges in the world and create other things that allow you to do that. But you have to put people in there so you can get their IQ level high enough that can then research it. I've talked a lot about this. I know we have a lot more to cover, but there is one complaint, or several complaints, but the main one I want to mention is the original Ni no Kuni had like a really great overworld. Like, as a lot of you guys know, when we moved into the PS2 to PS3 era, we got rid of like the overworld. They got the world map. They got rid of it because it looks weird.
Not in Ni no Kuni, you just mean in games in general.
In games in general. Yeah. In Ni no Kuni 1, what they did was they actually just shrunk down the exact character model and made it like you still would run across the world quicker, but it would be more in proportion to like the places you'd visit. And it was really cool because it was the same model. This one decided to go with a chibi art style. So when you're on the world map, your guy looks like a chibi version of your other character. He's got a big head, and he looks like a little dude.
Yeah.
I don't love that, but...
I don't either. I think it is popular, though, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I just was a little bit disappointed when I saw that, because I actually went and watched a YouTube video and was like, yeah, this was really great world map character design. Otherwise, though, it's great. The story is really fun and interesting. It's really like cutesy, but the other complaint I would have to say that I want to throw out real quick that I was thinking about all week is it didn't have a big budget, so there's actually not a lot of recorded dialogue in the game. It has maybe like every chapter has 3 scenes that are a few minutes each with recorded dialogue, and then most of it is just text.
What kind of budget are we talking about here?
I don't know
$5.
that. It was maybe like
Sorry, level $5.
level $5.
Boy.
I don't.
We
know.
we have an eye for detail on this show.
That's true.
Well, I was just wanting to throw that out there because it was something that the voice acting is so good in the game that I actually want more of it. So that's a good thing. You know, it's not like, oh man, these people suck. I wish they'd shut up.
Yeah.
But it's a bummer that they just didn't have the money to put more of it in. That's what my assumption is. The reason why it's not there. Anyways, I should stop talking about that game because I love it so much.
No, that was interesting. So you paid $60 for it?
I paid $60 for that game.
Would you recommend us
Of course.
waiting for it to be
No,
on sale?
no.
or-
I wouldn't recommend a sale. Sorry, I cut you off. I always thought you were going to say, would you recommend 60? I think it's going to be worth 60 hours, to be honest. Like, I think I'm going to get $1 per hour.
$1
buck an hour.
That's an
Yes.
Napoleon Dynamite.
So this is one you're gonna play till the end.
So
time.
Till the end of time.
Till the end of
I
time.
say that, but God of War comes out April 20th. So if I don't finish it by April 20th, we'll see.
Fatherhood and gaming, man.
Fatherhood and gaming.
damn.
All right.
So-
Well, thanks, Brank and Bank for
yeah.
delighting us. with
Breaking
that.
the bank.
If I get Kuni II, are you going to barrage me with co-op requests at
Rank
midnight?
him.
Yeah, because it's got co-op in it.
That's
'cause
where the
they have
two
$1
comes from,
million.
right?
He'll
Yeah,
be your
the two.
higgledy diggledy or whatever.
Yeah, can you be my higgledy?
Higgledy diggledy.
Higgledy, higgledy. Like they say in the game.
So Janky, why don't you tell me about the games you're playing, man?
Kind of still playing the same ones I've been playing. I'll start with Lost Sphear. I don't want to talk much about it because I don't really like it. But I reached a point in the
Don't have
story.
anything nice to say.
I reached a point in the story. I was kind of telling you guys as 11 hours in last week. Now I'm 28 hours, and I just reached this random point where I've been doing missions for the Empire for the entire game, and then just like that with no explanation, all of a sudden the lead guy is like, "I think the Empire's lying to us," and now you're against the Empire.
And it's Star Wars, so you know it's bad.
Yeah. So now I'm wandering around this island where the people I've been killing are like, "Hey, let's be friends now" and stuff. So I need to dig a little more into why that's happening, but I'm not that interested. But I'm still gonna play it because why not?
So at this point, really only the mechanics and the combat are keeping you in the game. or
Yeah,
what's
I
keeping
will.
you?
I like wandering. We were talking about the world map. I like having I haven't played a game with a big world map in a long time, so I like wandering around there. And it's one of those things where my OCD is making me want to make all the lost things come back. So I'm just searching for things to bring back from the white mist. All right, so long story short, I'm gonna finish
Just
playing
interrupt
the
you
game.
for a second here.
I knew it.
That was a good interrupt.
No,
Now,
that
this wasn't planned, but it was requested, so I should probably interrupt
Vita.
and say,
Vita Vita.
how does this game relate to your Irish heritage?
Oh wow, it's a great question that I'm not gonna let
Pass.
you answer.
All right.
So
Long story short.
are you gonna finish the game, Jake? What are you gonna do with the game?
I'm gonna finish it. I'm going out of town this weekend, so I'll probably pack it onto the portable and
Nice.
play
Now,
it.
do you think you're going out of town because the Empire's onto you?
It's true. I turned my back on them, so
You gotta
I got a hightail
hightail
out
it.
there.
You're
yeah.
on the lam, brah.
Yep.
What else are you playing, man?
I've been playing Far Cry, so I know we've been talking about that a lot. I'll go over the things that I do like about it, and
Can you just cover what you're indifferent about?
You just don't like the perk system because it sucks ass, right?
exactly.
Wow.
Getting
No,
explicit.
I know we kind of dove into this a little bit. I like how psychological the story gets, though.
Sure.
It's almost terrifying in a way to the cutscenes, especially because just the way that they're I don't know what it is. The characters just get in your face, and you don't know how deranged it's going to get. I haven't played a lot of the other Far Cry games, so I don't know how violent they get.
I haven't played
pretty
any
up
of
there.
them, but it's kind of interesting to me to hear how it seems with every Far Cry, they're getting more and more popular. Even you guys seem to be liking them, each game, which is kind of cool. I haven't played a single
Neither
one.
have
This is
I.
the first
So
one.
it's
I played.
interesting to I hear oh yeah, Far Cry 3, that's a cool game, and each time it comes out, it seems like they're getting better. So, Far Cry 10 is gonna be
I just wanted to hold your
Real
hand.
piece
Yeah, I
of-
know.
Just gotta wait for that one.
Do we get a key jingle in there too as a
Everybody's trying to get a few keys in there.
I want to just make sure, listeners, you understand. Just because we do a key jingle doesn't mean you're allowed to.
right?
We know.
You will know.
That's a privilege, not a right.
Yes.
I am digging. Sorry, I am
Oh,
digging the side quests too. Each of the characters that you help throughout the game. This is the first time I've ever played a game where I've been motivated to actually do stuff for these characters because I want to know more about them.
Even though you can't romance them, is what he was going to say.
Can't romance them. But like the lady who had her dad's big rig got stolen. I want to know.
That freaking quest.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Did you finish that one?
I did.
Oh,
I
that's a
did.
fun one. The Widowmaker.
I didn't know that if you blow up the
man,
trucks
yeah.
right when they're in front of you, it'll actually blow your car up.
Totally.
Oh, you know
man.
what you should have you invested in the repair tool?
No.
Or not the repair tool. There's a perk that lets vehicles repair automatically while you drive.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, because I was able to just ramrod straight through all those.
Okay.
And just like have the machine guns blazing. That mission was awesome.
It was fun. Well, because I kept shooting the trucks and then I would explode, and I was wondering if like they had gasoline or something in the back of their truck, but it turns out that they just if you're near them when they blow up, that you're gonna blow up too.
Yeah.
Jake, tell us about the rad co-op story you were telling me about with all your friends and Donna. That I would really want to hear about that.
Yeah, we all played co-op. Brent kept asking to play.
It was
but
actually 10-person co-op.
Yeah.
We got a
Dang.
special
Yeah,
beta co-op code from Ubisoft.
Dude, that's so cool.
It's true. Yeah.
Everybody that's not named Brank was allowed to
Even
play.
I was there.
Yeah. Even
People without the game somehow were playing.
They gave Dave the Law Bro a temporary copy of the
temporary
game.
coffee.
It was huge for me.
Evan brought one in VR.
Big deal. Yeah, I had it on Switch.
Every guest and interviewee we've ever talked to was there, just not Brank.
Yeah, that's true. That's an interesting sounding voice. It sounded like
It's a 16-year-old pouty voice.
It's
Little pouty boy.
Have you guys watched the Dana Carvey stand-up special? His most recent one. It's a couple years old, but
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
It's like
making
Cis White
stand-up?
Male or something like
yeah,
that.
but he talks about taking his teenage sons to Europe and how they're like not like Europe is completely lost on teenagers.
Yeah.
But he does this. He has this whole bit about his teenage sons, and there's one where he talks about how that. And about how awkward they are, and he talks about how they have the stupidest ideas, and you have to hear them all out, but you still have to say no. And he says his kids all do this thing where they go like, "Bunch of fucking bullshit." So
I can't wait for my kids to say that to me.
yeah, so it's really funny. Like this reminded me of that prank. I was expecting you to say that.
yeah, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
would say.
In
He
more
said
or
it
less
under his
words,
breath.
he did
Just
say
so that we can have one of those awkward silences that we talked about in the car today.
The ones I love. Whenever
Where it's like, hey, we're so much better at podcasting now. Only every once in a while is there a hiccup where it's all derailed.
all night,
now.
man. That's what I'm going for all night.
All
Hiccups
night.
all night.
Hiccup. Speaking of Hiccup, How to Train a Dragon. Awesome movie.
True.
Bullshit.
So anything else you want to talk about, Far Cry?
Just one more thing. I did a mission called even like the characters who don't mean anything in the game are still fun to talk to and do their stuff, because I did one called the Testicle Festival.
Oh.
you basically, it's like a festival where people, it's self-explanatory. But you have to go around, you have to gather the
It's
testicles.
actually not until you
It isn't.
let them know that it's bull testicles.
It's bull testicles.
Yeah,
so
thank you for that clarification.
you have to go and you...
Self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
Classic.
He sends you out to gather the testicles for the festival, and he...
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
that's 5 times fast.
But you have to get the bulls. You have to kill them in different ways while they're like having sex with cows.
Yeah.
And so like one of them, like while they're mounted, you have to run them over with a mulcher. The other one, you have to set them on fire, and you have to explode the other one.
This
Yeah.
is breaking the new Microsoft user conduct so hard right now. It's bestiality and violence. This is
Well,
double
it's
bad.
beast on beast. So
That's true.
That's just beast
It's
reality.
just called nature.
But anyway,
You don't get nature,
Yeah.
do you? What's that from? Arrested.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ron Howard's brother.
Jungle to jungle.
Joey Midnight Air, my brother.
Jungle.
You say obligated. Main memory I have of that
So
movie.
you're talking about like how this was like a fantasy of yours or real?
No, that's
Called-
what I was going into.
it's called Irish prime rib.
What was your
delicacy of
point?
my
What was your
people.
point of
No,
all this?
it's just you have some missions and side quests that are completely serious, and others that are like a joke. It's
Is that fun or that sounds awesome to
it's
me?
fun. I mean, it was fun
Sounds
for
like
me.
that test tickles your fancy.
Prostate tickler.
Very festive. But anyways, I'm done talking about that. So
Awesome. So I think one of our other people on the show have also played Far Cry 5. Don, you want to talk a little about Far Cry? You want to like dovetail on this Far Cry?
Oh yeah, let me dovetail. I might actually fishtail instead.
Oh my gosh.
as long as I'm still being recorded.
You are.
Just went
Brian's
completely
just
quiet.
trolling us hard this
Yeah,
episode.
there's
I am. I'm living the dream hard, aka getting this board under control so that people can hear us.
He's our board of directors tonight.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
I'm
Donna.
directing
All
this
of them.
hard, so I'm changing it so you don't hear some gain, my friends out there getting behind the curtain.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just
Okay.
as a heads up, our actual soundboard is a living entity, so
Yeah.
sometimes he chimes in weird, kooky ways.
He's like your weird aunt. that you
Tune
see
in
once
every
a
week
year.
to see what he gets the boys into next.
We should make him a character, like if we redo our logo.
Oh yeah,
The
I will do this.
soundboard.
Okay, so I've been playing Far Cry 5 as well. I've played it quite a bit, actually. It's most of what I played over the last week outside of some Elder Scrolls and one other game I'll talk about after this.
Can't wait.
And yeah, I'm loving it. I think that the progression system is great because it encourages me to play differently. And now that I have essentially completed all of the challenges related to combat,
Game's over.
Shut up.
now I just have to enjoy the game and like strategize like how to win fights in like whatever way I see fit. There's no, even though it's not a reward you for simply walking game, there is no shortage or scarcity in like points for anything. So like there's lots of times where I'll just like check the menu screen and all of a sudden I like realize I had like 20 skill points I hadn't spent yet because I just did challenges by like having to strategize, but also
Did you do the bunkers at all?
yeah, I've done lots of the bunkers, outposts, and the points, the main experience point system is your resistance points where you have to build in each region. So I think I explained this last week, but just as a recap, in each region, you have one of the main, like the number 2, 3, 4 type people of this cult.
The siblings of
the
the main.
siblings, yeah. I don't think, yeah, the siblings, and you have to like rally the resistance in each region, and you have to raise its level after, in the first region at least, after each level you get kidnapped and have to do like an escape mission, which is varying levels of intense and frustrating. In the second region, that doesn't appear to be the case so far. Instead, you go on these really bizarre drug trips. Actually, and by second region, I mean the second region I went to because you can do them in whatever order. But yeah, so you like I didn't do according to the in-game like journal in the first region. I still have 20 missions that I haven't done, but I've already beaten the region. So you by no means have to do everything in order to like max out your resistance points enough to draw out the leader, which is nice. So in the
Back to the perk system, though. Sorry, you really like the perk system, and it's encouraging you to play the game.
I like the perk system just because the game is an action game. I think that would I have liked Ubisoft to go even more RPG with Far Cry 5? Yes, but I'm glad they didn't do Far Cry 4 again.
Wait,
What do you mean by that?
In what
Yeah.
way? Yeah.
So with Far Cry 3 and 4, and that's not really like a specific slight against 4, but it's with Far Cry 3 and 4, they were toying around with these RPG elements. And in both games, they really didn't go far enough.
Like crafting and stuff?
Yeah, crafting, all those kind of things. Yeah, both games, they really didn't go far enough, especially 4, which is a really big game.
Primal?
I didn't play Primal, actually, so I couldn't comment on that. But with...
Comment anyway.
Primal seems interesting. I would still be down to play it just because it seems very... I mean, you play a Neanderthal or whatever, hunting, and it's all like, you know, like bows and saber tooths.
Me Kate, man, me stupid.
Yeah. Well, me stupid, me Kate, man. But so they took that. They, instead of going full bore with that, they went the opposite direction. Which, again, if they had like done a customer survey, I probably would have voted for more RPG and the other way around. But I'm glad they at least went somewhere different with it because. Honestly, the systems from the last couple of games just got really got really old, with the exception of Blood Dragon because it's a 10-hour game.
Yeah.
So I'm glad with this game that they just did something a little bit different, and it's fine because in the end, Far Cry is a ridiculous action game. So it's like we talked about some story. There's some cool elements. It's definitely interesting. The cult-like behavior. The region I'm in is very much like a BioShock game. It's like everyone's tripping on weird drugs. You have all these like bizarre visions of like these like peaceful meadows and stuff like that. It's very weird.
I just want to ask you something real quick. I had someone I was talking to said that when they got to the second region, because you've been there, they said when they got to the second region, it kind of felt like a different game. Is that true?
It depends on what the second region they went to is, I guess. But for me, the second region I went to, I wouldn't say it feels like a different game, but it definitely feels like it doesn't feel the same. Like it feels like it's moving faster.
Like tonally different?
It's definitely tonally different because the John Seed region, which is the typical first region, is very much like brutal, and this one's way more psychedelic.
Okay.
So I have no idea what the last guy's region is going to be like, but yeah. So I'm really enjoying the perk system. I'm loving the challenges. The side quests are fun too. Some of them are cheesy. Some of them are like there's that action. Have you done any Clutch Nixon quests yet? Yeah, those are pretty fun. Like they're like stunt courses because you're trying. It's like some what's his name, Evil Knievel type guy.
Oh,
and
cool.
so you're doing quests like.
What do you think of the driving mechanics in the game?
They are. I like them more now than I did when I started.
Okay.
It's weird. It was weird that there was. I don't see. It's first person only, right?
Yeah, it's so I don't like how when you turn your head, you still go the direction that you're...
It's definitely weird. I was expecting there to be like a third-person vehicle driving option.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, and I haven't found it. I don't know.
That would be so
but I'm
much
enjoying
easier.
it. I actually am really enjoying plane combat.
Oh, I saw that in the trailer. It's really
Yeah,
awesome.
so that was the one that when I first did it, I was like, I don't know about this, and then I've enjoyed it a lot. Same with some of the missions where you drive cars. Like it's kind of fun. You can like make or break yourself pretty quick if you just go off the wrong turn and get hit behind a tree and fail a mission, but it's still pretty fun. The other thing is that fishing is actually kind of fun. It's not a very complicated mini game, so it's not like super annoying where it's like oh, go fish in this spot, and if you're lucky, maybe like once every in-game day you'll catch this one kind of fish. It's like every spot has one type of fish, basically. So
that's
you
cool.
can,
You just go to
for all the
location.
challenges, you can go to different locations and stuff like that.
So Donna, go ahead, Brink.
Oh, I was just saying, is that like a dab or jab at Final Fantasy 15?
It's more of a
fishing?
dab.
No, yeah, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 15's fishing minigame, but the difference is that game was more complicated and less essential. But since fishing in Far Cry 5 is like a lot of perk points are locked behind fishing because you get points for catching every single type of fish and stuff.
Can you shoot them?
No, or at least I haven't been able to.
I haven't tried.
My dad's got a 40-foot bay liner
Yeah.
up in the crow's nest.
But yeah, since this game is essentially essential, I would say that I like it that it's simple, because if it was like Final Fantasy 15's more complicated fishing minigame, which again is fun, but was also required for skill points, I think I would probably hate it a lot more.
Did anybody fish in WoW?
No.
Dude, okay. We won't talk about it, but it's like the worst fishing mechanic ever.
I wonder if it's similar to Elder Scrolls Online fishing.
Where you just like throw your line into the water. It's like an auto cast, and then when your bobble jiggles, you click it to pull your fish in. Is that how Elder Scrolls is?
I think it's similar, but with Elder Scrolls, it's weird that to catch rare fish, there has to be a lot of people fishing at once.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So I do want to hear about the other game you're playing, Donna, but I want to real quick ask you, what's been your most enjoyable moment in Far Cry 5 this week? Just a real quick synopsis on that.
Yeah, so my most enjoyable memento.
Could have been like a flamethrower kill or like a quick
All
perk
flamethrower kills.
Co-op play.
Yeah.
quick co-op moment.
Let's see. My favorite thing has probably been well, I'll say too. My favorite thing has been using proximity mines a lot, because with grenades and dynamite, you have to cook them. Otherwise, enemies will just run away from them. So you have to like hold on to them and hopefully time it, which is really fun when you get like a helicopter kill when you're grenading a helicopter. But proximity mines are fun because you can just throw them and they blow up when they're near things. So it's like, that's been really fun. Probably one of my favorite moments which was also one of my most frustrating moments, in the last mission that you are about to do in the first region, the last major mission where you go to the bunker.
Just don't spoil it.
I won't. But this is you have this. The first thing you have to do is you have an outside area that you have to get through, and so I had Nick Rye as my assistant or like a companion. He's the guy with the plane.
Was he out of the plane?
No. This is like an all outside battle you have to fight, and so you can like have him like strafe and drop bombs on all the enemies and stuff like that. But if you die, you have to start back pretty far in this mission. So I had to redo this open air battle sequence like 10 times, not 10 times, like 5 times. And there was one time where he flew in to like strafe some enemies, but there was a guy with a rocket launcher right next to him. So I sent my guy in, and he just like instantly was blown up. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Frustrating, but that was a great moment.
Did you switch to the girl when you went in?
Actually, I think I switched to Boomer because he tags everyone.
Oh, okay.
Or you may not have been able to use anyone because I'm trying to remember. I think I didn't have anyone when I went inside.
Okay. Because I encountered my first like heavy armored guy you were talking about, and those guys were sucky.
Proximity mines.
Yeah.
Brank or Jenk, did you guys have a story? I asked Donna that. I just thought of it when I was talking with him, but do you guys have a quick story you want to share?
I lost control of a truck today, and I ended up running over a couple resistance members, and everyone started trying to kill me.
This sounds like a DUI confession of like an actual truck driver and like ice road truckers.
Right. So my bad.
I was playing with co-op with a real friend, and it is awesome having friends. And yeah, we were driving on an ATV, and there was a Colt bus that we were supposed to take out. There were a bunch of other Colt trucks that were following us. So I ended up driving off road and doing a flip, and I fell on the ground, and the Colt truck ran over me. And then when my buddy got off, another truck ran over him. So we failed and had to start over.
Some of those were the armored convoy missions.
No, this was actually just the semi trucks.
Okay,
I was just trying to shoot out the tire. I don't think you can shoot out the tires in the game. I've been trying.
You can.
It's hard.
I don't know if it actually like permanently debilitates them, but if you shoot at the tires, they'll like steer off, kind of.
Yeah, because so when you're driving, they have an auto aim mechanic, and it's really hard for it not to just like.
Well, maybe you're just bad at shooting.
That is exactly it.
It's auto aim though. So.
Dude, the best thing for
It's really bad.
the best thing, the weapon I keep on deck a lot is the rocket launcher, especially if I have to take out vehicles. I'll just try and like get in front of a convoy and just shoot straight ahead. It's really fun.
I wish they had a special weapons holster instead of like just handgun and 2 or 3. I'm still at the 2 right now. So
yeah, that would be nice. I mean,
because like I don't really want to use grenade launcher or rocket launcher.
Have either of you used a gravity gun yet?
Oh man, grenade launcher or rocket launcher is awesome in that game.
I've used it, but I mean I don't want to spend a slot like using it because I've only used it.
At least
for me the game, it very much like expects you to switch up weapons all the time. Like there's lots of times where I will be in the middle of a large fight. I'll have a rocket launcher because there was a bunch of helicopters, and then I'll just pick up some dude that I killed's machine gun, drop my rocket launcher, and have that. Even with the bow, which I mostly keep, like if I know if I'm not going to stealth, like I'll get rid of my bow and just pick up whatever.
You have to go back and then get a new one when you get to the safe house area.
Yeah, I mean sometimes I just won't use it for a while. Like I'll just because I have a silencer on my pistol, so I can still stealth. But yeah, I find myself like going through lots of different weapons depending on the scenario.
So Donna, we've been talking a lot about Far Cry 5, but we also want to talk with you about Alliance Alive. Do you want to share a couple minutes about that game?
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned this a while back, this game coming out, because I was playing Legend of Legacy, which is the 3DS RPG made by team members from some of the old Saga Frontier and Romancing Saga style games that have sort of unique progression systems, kind of like more aesthetically driven, like environments, etc. So this is a game, and that game, the Legend of Legacy, was a game that's notoriously opaque with how to actually get stronger. It's the one where you don't gain experience points, you awaken abilities at like random.
Oh yeah.
Your stat growths are either random or in some type of system that's indecipherable. So this is a game, Alliance Alive, made by the same team that was made based on the customer feedback, essentially, of the last game.
Which seems like it could be good or bad.
Yeah, so the development idea for it started before the last one, but they extended it as they made Legend of Legacy, which is a very story light, kind of more exploration based game. So this game, not too far into it, but I'm very much liking it. It's very much like a mix between. It's very much like a Bravely Default kind of game. The most jarring thing about playing this game is that there's no voice acting, which is fine. It's a 3DS RPG, but I have grown accustomed to it. But it's got the same guy doing the soundtrack that did Final Fantasy 13 and those games. He did the last one. He's done a bunch of games. Very unique style. And yeah, so the game is set in a world where humans are kind of like the bottom rung of the ladder, and then there's beast folk above them. So there's lots of beast characters, which I know Brink loves.
Love them.
And then the ruling class are demons or daemons or something like that. And when the ruling class of demons took over the world, they divided the world into like different realms. So there's like a realm where it rains nonstop, so people don't know what the sky looks like, etc. So they basically like divided like all human sources of power and resource to keep them like kind of enslaved, essentially. Not really enslaved.
Just in check.
In check, yeah. And you are like part of a resistance guild, and you're sort of doing quests based around that. You go to locales that are very much storybook looking, like Bravely Default, kind of have that same sort of pop-up feel. And you're investigating, like, it's been, I think that event took place 1,000 years ago, so people nowadays have no idea that there's like a blue sky or anything like that. And you investigate some museum and you find some ancient relics, which kind of kicks off the story. You encounter like a demon, kind of like knight, not a vigilante, like a knight that basically like hunts humans that learn too much, essentially. And you play like a guy, and his girlfriend gets blinded by this dude. So now you're like walking around with this blind chick and a bunch of other people. But yeah, it's fun. The battle system is actually not as similar as I was really expecting it to be. Pretty much the same combat as Legend of Legacy, but it's actually quite a bit different. There's a lot of mechanics. I think that's very much a trend, like we were talking about with Ni no Kuni II, that a lot of JRPGs have lots of systems. This game has the same awakening system, where you awaken abilities for your weapon skills kind of at random, but you can actually, it has a talent point system where you can essentially buy like skills in each weapon or category that make you learn moves faster, that make moves cost less points to use, etc. There's other systems like sort of like a Final Fantasy style limit break system, except it actually breaks your weapon, not permanently, but yeah.
Do you have to press a button to use it, or does it do it automatically?
You have to choose to use it, yeah. Okay. But yeah, so far, I'm interested. I'm very interested in playing it. Aesthetically, it's cool. The environments are cool. The music's cool. It's got a fun, quick combat system. Something they included in this game is a much better fast forward battle feature, so you can like cruise through trash mobs, which is great.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty much all I have to say about it this point.
Sweet. So we'll look forward to hearing more about that next week. Anyone else going to pick that game up on 3DS?
Who else is playing 3DS besides this?
I like the crickets that literally play that you can hear.
Crickets.
Vita Vita.
The 3DS. I just sold my Vita today, so.
Oh, great! Thanks for letting me borrow it. You
Biggest
jerk.
mistake of your life.
Speaking of Vit Vit, we have the real true Vit Vit here in front of us in the flesh. What games are you playing, man?
Hey, a Beat Me Half-Life 2.
All right, that is a new game.
I was playing it.
You're playing it like on your phone or something?
On my laptop a couple months ago, and then and I moved and forgot about it, and then was like, oh, I finally need to beat this.
Yeah,
I was like 10 minutes away from the end.
Oh, seriously?
And then I beat it. And
are we talking about base game though, or episode 1 or 2, or
Half-Life 2?
Not episode 1 or 2. Oh my goodness!
Are you gonna play the episodes?
Well,
you should.
I think so, because
are they part of the game, or is that an add-on?
Oh, it's an add-on.
Well, yeah, they're add-ons, but they're part of the story, the arc. Yeah,
you could probably buy it on sale for like $3.
Probably.
They're not very long, right?
No, I think
20 hours.
The episodes.
Yeah,
I think episode 1 is like 4 or 5 hours. It's really short.
Yeah,
Episode 2 is a little longer, but it's way more fun.
episode 1's supposed to be kind of
What was your favorite moment of Half-Life 2, the base game?
Oof. Well, not a moment. The music.
The music's amazing.
Ravenfall.
G-Man, right? Anytime he kind of comes in and
like the suited man.
the suited man. I think he's called the G-Man.
Yeah, maybe I don't remember. That guy was really cool.
He's because like probably one of my favorite parts is like the whole time like I remember I was just kind of exploring some train tracks and like I bent down and you saw him just walk across and I'm like, well, there's like I could have walked right by this and
totally
and missed it. So that was kind of because I still really don't know what his part to play in the whole game is.
Is he a villain?
No, I think he
saves you. I mean,
I think he deploys.
First off,
Gordon
those
Freeman.
games love abrupt endings.
Yeah, I think I think that character specifically is like Gordon Freeman's boss
handler.
Or
It
handler
seems like
or
he's his
something
handler.
Like that.
Did
Yeah.
you guys finish? Sorry about interrupting, but did you guys finish Half-Life 1?
No, I never played Half-Life 1.
Okay, so Half-Life 1 at the very end, you're in an
He
alien
saves you.
overworld, and he takes you right when you're about to be killed.
You kill the Mother Lord guy.
Yeah,
and
but the planet's about to explode, and then he takes you, and so you work for him.
I want to learn more about the Mother Lord guy. Like, what is that gender? Like, I want to know about that.
he's
It's
dead. I
like
think he
a
killed the last
beast
one.
thing.
In one, and then he.
Is Gordon Freeman
'Cause
related to Morgan Freeman at all?
Yeah,
seems
they're
like-
Morgan
yeah.
Freeman's in the
white half brother.
Anyway.
Anyways, though, so you just finished Half-Life 2.
Because I'm excited because Half-Life 3 is supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
Soon,
Tomorrow.
right?
Half-Life 2 is a great game. I definitely encourage you to play episodes 1 and 2. What else are you playing, man?
I'm literally on the last boss of Salt and Sanctuary.
What about figuratively?
Figuratively, also on the last boss.
Metaphorically?
How many
No,
hours have you put into
not-
that, baby?
I don't really. Oh boy. Literally, I played it. It took me over a year to beat it, which is
That's hyperbolically.
hyperbolically. So I can't nail it down. I think 12 hours. How long were you playing it, Eric?
I probably put in about 5 hours.
I
So
think,
triple that
I
time.
think I'm at like 12, but
Theoretically,
I think
Yeah.
that's about right. But I died a lot,
Spiritually.
especially in the beginning.
Okay.
But I kind of liked it because it's kind of like a Souls-like game. It's just going from level to level. If you're not careful, you can die, and
Yeah.
the bosses are tough. But I kind of like that. The last third of the game was kind of easier, just because like by then I'd reached like level 70, so that was kind of nice because I kind of wanted to beat it and
Yeah.
be done with it. So the last, because when you go to the older areas, like you're kind of overpowered by the end of the game. So like there was kind of like a turning point about 70% of the way where it's like, okay, like I can mostly get to the bosses without dying. So, and that I actually kind of really like that. So that was, because
Yeah.
some games just want to kick you in the nuts all the way till the end. And,
Yeah, I don't have patience for those games anymore.
Vit Vit's nickname growing up was Turning Point. So.
Turning Point, turning
That
point,
was
literally.
nut kicker or
A lot of potential nicknames there.
So just that.
names.
I picked up Mario Kart 8
on the
for
Switch.
the Switch.
Cool.
I never played it on the Wii, but it was pretty fun. I love the recreated levels.
The Wii U, right?
I picked
Okay.
it up for the Wii U.
Okay.
So those are all really cool.
You mean you never picked it up for the Wii?
I never picked it up for the Wii U.
Yeah, I never got to play Mario Kart 8 either. I do want to. I think I'll pick it up on the Switch when it drops in price a little bit.
I remember when I was young, I really liked playing just the main levels by myself. But now I want to play with.
You want to play with people?
I want to play with people more.
There's more incentive. I think we've already talked about this a little bit, but the biggest complaint that at least Brank and I have with Mario Kart 8 on Switch is that all of the unlockables are already unlocked for
Yeah,
you.
that would have
no-
been more fun
And-
in like single player mode.
Yeah, because I'm fine with it only because I played it on Wii U and unlocked everything.
Yeah.
But if this had been my first time into the game, I would have been pretty bummed out.
So
I
wait.
really hope that they don't do this kind of thing with Smash Brothers.
Is there a progression system,
I don't
though?
think they will with Smash.
I don't think they
There
will
i-
either.
Yeah, there is in the sense that you can still, so in the Switch version, you can still unlock vehicles and vehicle parts with coins. It's
Yeah.
fairly underwhelming.
I could care less about
You have to
that.
be
Okay.
the part of that where it really matters is when you like decide to do the 200cc
Yeah.
mode that they added or whatever it is.
Yeah, from a single player mode, it would have been cool to only have half the levels, and that would have given me something to kind of beat.
And the characters too. Yeah, 'cause that's
yeah.
what you unlock a lot of.
But now I just want to. Now that I finally got it,
So
I'm gonna play it.
do you think they developed the game knowing that people had already played it before, and that's why they were just like, we'll leave all the stuff unlocked.
I don't actually know why they went with that.
I think they just wanted.
I guess that has to be it.
We have talked about this on the show before, so I'm gonna be a type.
Talk about it more, okay?
Yeah.
Please give us
so we can cite that in the show notes.
It's a legal issue, guys. You can't like quote yourselves. It says in the Bible Constitution, like,
the Bible.
do not amend.
Thou shalt not.
To quote it thyself.
No, it says do not.
Do not in the Bible.
Original Greek Hebrew.
VD, are you playing anything else, man?
Just those, I think.
How's that BD going?
No, just those. Playing Donkey Kong on my phone, and that was.
Oh, on the phone.
That
That sounds legal.
No, I did. I bought the app.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, bought the
right.
app, and I
Okay.
own, and I do own the Nintendo, and I got Donkey Kong. I found it actually. My wife Trish wanted me to throw it all out when we moved, and I was like, no.
They don't have none of this stuff is real. Anyways, there is no app that I have the app, man. I got the.
There
Donkey
is the
Kong.
app, Super Retro 16. You buy it on the.
He's got an Android.
Oh yeah, that's because that's filled with piracy.
Yeah, because the Android App Store is not regulated by any central
Exactly.
entity.
I
Yeah.
bought it. It's all legal.
It's all legal.
Yeah, just like the Silk Road's legal because I bought stuff with Bitcoin on it.
Yep.
Bought an assassination on it.
All legal.
No, that's legal. So I hope you got the assassination. I hope you got the check for that. The receipt.
I love this rule where, like, as long as you pay for it, it's legal.
It's legal.
All drug trade is now legal.
Well, you paid some money and
Bought it fair and square. It's a legal term, guys.
Okay, I'll briefly touch on the games I'm playing. Then we'll go to a short break. I'm still playing DK Country 2, also on the app.
the free one.
The free app. I'm also not playing it technically legally. I'm playing it on my RetroPie, so a little bit of a gray area there.
Like I'm just ripped in.
You bought it, right? You bought it.
I own the cartridge from like 1995.
Yeah. Doesn't that mean you're good to go?
No, not really.
I actually thought it does. Well, that's not. Yeah. That
We can get into that later, but never.
Yeah, I want to say no. Like later. Yeah, it's not.
Like in a minute or two.
We've definitely talked about it on the show, but me. According to my calculations. Anyways, Donkey Kong Country 2. Me and my son just got to the third world, which is like my favorite world, which is the
Roller coaster?
Carnival roller coaster. And my favorite level of all time, though, is the honeybee level.
Is that the first level of that world? Because I always remember that place.
I don't know if it's the first. No, I think the first level would be. I think it's like towards the end because you like go through the theme parky stuff and then you kind of come out and there's like a beehive and then
why
the
is it
last
your
boss
favorite
is a
level?
bee. It's my favorite level because of the
Loves
music.
the honey.
Right.
Loves the honey. Big bear. I love it because the music. All the songs in that game are spectacular, but that song specifically is just like makes me feel like so cool, and it's also like super like honey-ish at the same time. It's like
Super sweet.
it's like Big Boy Winnie the Pooh, which totally I totally love. So I'm digging that. It's fun playing that game again. Obviously still playing Breath of the Wild. Pretty slow going for me because I'm only able to play like 30 minutes a night. Still in the Death Mountain area.
Yeah.
Got my full Goron armor suit, which is sweet.
Nice.
Then a few shrines in the area. And then I am now on the trail for like the big Goron boss is like he sent one of his little friends to go get painkillers for him. So I'm looking for those. So I'm doing that. And then me and Eli are also playing a little of Dragon Quest Builders, courtesy of Dana.
Little guy Zelda.
Little Guy Zelda.
Playing that on your retro pie.
No, playing that on the Switchy Poo. So that's been really fun. I have to definitely paraphrase the dialogue for him because it's the dialogue it's wordy and it's verbose and the vocabulary is pretty high for a 3-year-old and it's also like satirical a little bit too, like pokes fun of itself, and he just doesn't get any of those things. So I have to like read it real quick and then say,
Yeah.
and then he lied about the book he was reading.
Yeah, I played the intro with him, and I was like the same. I was like, actually, I got to rephrase this.
Yeah, so that's been like a fun external meta to the game.
Yeah, those games are always super satirical, and they're always like very like translated to be very British, essentially.
Yeah.
Like if you get to the third chapter where you deal with all the bodybuilder guys.
Oh, those guys with the big masks and
Yeah.
stuff. They look pretty cool. I'm liking the game. It's not a game that I would play on my own. I definitely enjoy playing it with my son, and then also the fact that I'm borrowing it for free is a nice bonus. But I am enjoying it, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to play it. So that's been cool. So with that, guys, unless you have any questions for me, I think we can take a quick break.
Real quick, Eric, did you know Billy?
Oh, that's not a question for me.
No.
So break,
Billy
please.
4C?
Billy 4C. The blanket.
No!
Oh my gosh. The blanket?
Hey everyone, venture into the pop culture cosmos today, where you'll hear our conversations on different topics within the world of movies, TV, video games, comic books, technology, board gaming, and more. You'll also get a taste of some of our other shows within the cosmos as well. So come on and join us each week as we delve into the pop culture cosmos.
Welcome to the pop culture cosmos.
All right, we are back with the news. We tout ourselves as a news-oriented podcast. We know that you guys wait to read your news until you hear it from us first, so we appreciate that.
And I want to say, I think the biggest piece of news is that the four of us that aren't Brank have a real soft heart towards you taking pee breaks. It's okay.
Thank you. I love, you guys know me. I love finding those bathroom outlets.
Yeah.
I love rating and reviewing them on bathroom.yelp.
Yeah, that's cool. We have a soft heart for that, meaning that we are very empathetic towards your...
I thought it was more like a softie, like a half chubs.
Well, I mean, I hope we all do right now.
Aren't they the same?
I'm like mildly impressed, excited, aroused about your pee
I'm
breaks.
a half-mast when I see that bathroom and I like it.
When you're paying?
Cool.
What you listeners don't hear is that we take a 2-hour break between each of these segments, and we don't just edit it back together. We actually have a functioning time machine that we travel back in time to before.
To the
but
before.
Yeah.
Right. All that stuff's true. Everything we just said.
That's the news.
Just
Speaking of truth, we also have a few brankies to lay upon ye. When we had a podcast meeting today, and we talked about the topic of brankies today with Brank, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys can call them quickies if you want, but
duh."
Yeah, they're Brankies because Brankies are a 16-year-old baby boy, and they're news articles that are significant, but also as fleeting as a 16-year-old romance.
There you go.
I can tell you 16-year-olds are not fleeting at all. You'll always be 16 in your heart.
That's true. Forever young. So Brank, why don't you kick us off with the first Brankie, No Man's Sky, Xbox One.
Yeah, so it's coming to Xbox One. It's getting a cool Xbox One X update.
Well, the update's coming out to PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, so when it comes out, there will be a new update for it.
So the PlayStation is getting the Xbox One update.
There is the game
2.
itself. The PlayStation 2 is getting the update. No, the game itself will be getting an update at the time it comes out for Xbox One. That will upgrade the resolution for the Pro and the Xbox One X. But
They're
I just thought
exclusive to PC. I didn't know they were. Is that a?
they were
PC?
exclusive
Okay.
to PC and PS4.
Okay.
So Sony had some exclusivity deal with them, and it's over 2 years later.
Didn't this game totally tank hard?
It did, and I just thought it was interesting because this is a game that Sony put on their stage multiple times. Supposedly now it's actually a decent game after all the updates.
It's like as if Mass Effect Andromeda was suddenly playable a year and a half later.
Mass Effect Andromeda is supposedly decent now, a year and a half later.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
still
the
not great.
The reason that you would play a Mass Effect game originally was because of the universe and story, which I don't think they fixed or changed that.
Yeah, they just made the game
all
more
the bugs. But with No Man's Sky, from what I understand, the fans didn't actually abandon them, even though the game sucked. They were super stoked to hear that they were fixing all this stuff.
So it sounds like a pretty loyal fan base. Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird situation where Sony really drove the hype train from an unknown developer, and
yeah, I'm glad every person can try it. Like we talked about Hellblade last week. I think it's cool.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing. Looking forward to that. I guess you'll play it in the near future and you'll tell us about it?
I probably will not. But
okay.
when it's $10, I might pick it up.
I appreciate the honesty. That's great. Chrono Trigger graphics patch. Who wants to talk about that?
Yeah, basically, Square Enix has heard all of the outrage over how atrocious because they, again, like we mentioned, not only did they port the mobile version of Chrono Trigger to PC,
Brilliant,
but they ported it with the mobile interface.
That was a bold move.
Oh yeah.
So it's like all the buttons that are really big so that you could touch them on a screen.
Yeah.
So it was like the worst looking thing, and so
we're still waiting to see if it pays off.
hopefully
it's a bold strategy.
So they're now adding a patch to let you use the original graphics,
that's
which is
cool.
great. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Will it be like Halo? You can press a button and it'll switch back to.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just got rid of the graphics they had at launch and replaced them.
What if they made the graphics worse?
Now if they can only do that with all of the Final Fantasy 5 and 6 ports they have.
Oh, sorry. That wasn't boring. I just
Johnny
getting
Poos.
tired.
Rude.
So the Vive Pro review? Question mark? Let's talk about that.
We can't really review it. It's just the Vive Pro's launching.
I was just saying a lot of people had given reviews to it and they think it's way overpriced at $800.
But a huge improvement on the technology as it existed previously.
Yeah, not worth $800.
Brian seems unconvinced.
I wasn't here with Evan. I did get to hear it. I loved it. But I don't know if I share his sentiment. I don't think $800. I don't think this is worth $800. I don't think
if money was not an issue, would you pick it up?
I guess in my mansion with my 2 Ferraris, I would pick it up.
If money was not an issue, would you pick it up?
Yes or
but
no,
I'd also
Brian?
be traveling the world every day. So I guess in this fantasy land, I've got yes, I would own it.
Okay.
I would have probably 2 dedicated rooms for it.
Okay,
too.
you're getting ridiculous. I should have asked you this question.
I'd have 3.
So anyways though, the reviews are mixed, as in they think it's an advancement on the technology, but it's still way too expensive.
Yeah, they shot it back up to $800.
I think it sounds like there's certain advancements that people wish they'd still made.
I don't know a ton about the stuff. I know the gloves aren't out yet because Evan mentioned those.
That's coming soon though, right?
But yeah, I mean, right now we're just talking about higher resolution headset with probably better frames and stuff. But it's still at $800. I don't think they're going to be in most homes.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so Dark Souls Remaster.
Oh yeah, that's a quick one. From everything I've seen and read so far, I talked about where the remaster might go, but it looks like it's just gonna be mostly aesthetics. It doesn't look like the fighting mechanics or anything changed from what the original one was. Items that look like they're about the same stats. No, it doesn't look like any of the people are gonna be changed around. Any of the minions.
We talked about that a few weeks ago.
It looks like Ivy. That's like I said, a lot of aesthetics. Ivy that's around. That used to just be still. Looks like there'll be swaying motions.
Isn't there supposed to be a mode that switches where things are?
That's a mod on PC. I don't think that's going to be in the new one.
I thought I read something about that. Where
that'd be cool though.
Yeah. So that's already a mod, I'll keep looking into it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it looks like it's mostly just to make the game prettier. Which there's kind of 2 different schools of thought. Should they change it up or just kind of make a clean remaster with graphics? And you never really know what you're going to get if they try and change the mechanics. So sometimes I personally was I just want to play it and have a prettier version, and I want to play it on the Switch on the go. In my opinion, it's a perfect game because it's you can just you can die and then you can play 20 minutes later and not rage quit. And
they lowered the price, which to me was really
$40 on Switch.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be cool. So that's it.
Cool. That's
pretty
awesome.
cool little update.
Sweet. So now we're out of our Brankies and now we're into our
Jankies.
I was gonna say our Donnas.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
our
that actually.
Dons.
Yeah, our Donnas. So we're in the Donnas now. DQ11.
Yeah, the Dragon Quest XI has finally been given a Western release date for September 14th.
Thank
There's September 4th, September 7th.
I know it's somewhere around there, yeah.
It's in September. They've only announced a release for the PS4 and PC version. So it sounds like they're going to forego the 3DS version.
I think they stated that there is no 3DS version being localized.
Yeah, it's been
No
stated.
Switch
So-
version
About
either.
Switch rumors.
the Switch rumors. They haven't even announced what that is in Japan, so that's going to be a long time.
Japan.
Do all the Dragon Quests get released to PC?
No,
No, this is the first one, and
That's
this wasn't
interesting.
even released to PC in Japan.
Well, I
It's
think
just
I
3DS
think
and
now
PS4.
that now that's because Dragon Quest was originally a Nintendo franchise, and then it was on PlayStation games, and now it's on Nintendo and PlayStation. But now that Sony has decided to have a hardware architecture that's not bonkers, it's just easy to port games to PC.
Oh, okay.
Technically, it would probably be easy to port it to Xbox as well.
Yeah, but I'm sure
because that doesn't
Sony,
sell
at
and-
very least, I'm sure Sony has some type of exclusivity deal.
Real quick, I don't think I've ever asked this. Is it one continuous saga, or can we play these games separately?
No, these are like Final Fantasy. These actually predate Final Fantasy, I believe,
Predate,
by a couple of years.
Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, so there is they kind of go in threes, not totally.
Groups of threes, Josh.
Groups of threes. Yeah.
Repeating, of course.
Triplets.
What can we expect from this game?
So this game looks pretty great. It's like so the weird thing about this one, and we won't get to experience this, but the game had 3 versions. There's
Threes again.
Yeah, threes. Very Freemason of them.
Freemason?
It actually had 2 versions.
Freemason?
Yeah, Freemasons love threes. 3 Masons.
3 Masons.
3
Jake
Freemasons.
just said that, actually.
Play a Dragon Quest game. But yeah, so like the first 3 Dragon Quest games are sort of interrelated. The 4, 5, and 6 are sort of interrelated.
Talking about the same universe?
Yes, it's
Okay.
more direct in 1, 2, and 3 than it is in 4, 5, and 6. I think 7, 8, 9 are all pretty separate. So I don't know. 10 was an online game that never made it out here and never will because
Never made it out, Josh.
Yeah.
Made it though from Wii to Wii U to Switch in Japan. That's how.
Oh, it's
crazy-
on Switch in Japan.
I believe it got announced for Switch when they were announcing.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love the Dragon Quest universe, I would never play the online game, so I don't really care. But
So anyways, the 11, like what
11.
do we, yeah.
It's going to take place. I don't know the name of the world in this game, but it looks great. So they're only bringing us the PS4 version. The 3DS version actually had 2 versions in it. The top screen was like a retro Super Nintendo style.
Oh, I remember talking
and
about this.
The bottom screen was like a 3D, or the top or bottom, I forget.
Yeah.
And there was like a not as cinematic as the
top screen was the
console, but it was like a 3D, like the Dragon Quest VII remake. Anyway,
that sounds cool.
this game it looks like a classic Dragon Quest game. The combat looks a little more faster paced as they do with the modern
Still
ones.
turn-based though.
Yeah, still turn-based. It's gonna have all the same like friendly, fun monster designs that Akira Toriyama's done.
The slimes.
Yep, the slimes.
It's a level 5. It's a level 5 join, man.
Yeah, it's level 5. They've been handling Dragon Quest for a little while now, which is great. It's gonna have the same. I'm assuming it's gonna have Koichi Sugiyama doing the music again.
Koichi.
I think Yuji Horii does all the stories for those games, so he's been the creator since the very beginning. This might actually be one of the longest running game franchises that has been directed by the creator every single installment. I think
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
It sounds
every
like
single main installment at least.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Mario's not the oldest one though with Shigeru?
Well, has he directed every Mario?
I don't
'Cause I
want.
thought
I don't want to say yes or no, but I feel like he has.
Because I know he doesn't direct Zelda. He hasn't directed Zelda for a long time.
Yeah.
He's like the
Nintendo now.
overlord of Zelda.
He's captain of Zelda.
Captain.
He's the
Zelda
mother
ship.
lord
Captain
guy.
Zelda.
Yeah, like I think he
Zelda.
has like some pretty powerful sway in Zelda, but I know he is not in charge of it anymore.
I believe he's still.
So it
directs
might be Mario,
Yeah.
but
I know Toriyama. It sounds like he's trying to get towards retirement though, because I know they interviewed him about Dragon Ball Super coming to an end, and he said it's time to getting close to time to calling it quits. So I wonder
Sure.
if that's his last.
But he might. Did he say that about Dragon Ball or about
just in
his
general.
career?
Yeah, he just said he's
I was
getting
talking
old.
to Reggie about that.
I'm imagining the Dragon Quest games are significantly less taxing because he doesn't have to direct an anime, nor is he in charge of the story in any way. He just designs the universe and characters.
Okay, that makes sense.
But we'll see. I mean, there's plenty of people that can mimic that style, I guess, to an extent. So anyway, it should be great. I'm looking forward to it. I may have to get a PS4 for it. It would be the one game that would make me do it.
I'm just surprised that they didn't announce Switch like even close. They just said it's far away now, like it's not even near coming out. So
Did they even ever announce that it was Dragon Quest 11?
Yeah, coming to
I
Switch,
thought
yeah.
they,
Yeah, they
I thought they
showed
just
the Switch
announced that
symbol.
it was Dragon Quest is coming to Switch.
they had the Dragon Quest 11 Switch symbol up
Okay.
there. So I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I want to talk about one of the miracles of our Savior, where water tastes like wine.
Yeah, I just thought this was interesting. This is
This is a Bible sim. This is not like
this
that.
is a Bible sim.
Also interesting. I just want to say this was a joke that is funny. That there's a sequel
We'll
called
see.
Where the Beer Flows Like Wine.
No, and that joke didn't exist.
That's from Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah. So
Actually, beer flows like
everyone
San
listening,
Capistrano.
I popped that joke early before we started recording. It got a laugh, but now that they've heard it, it's no laugh today.
I already popped it, man. There's my cherry's gone.
Sometimes we
Beer me
test
that
out
CD.
jokes.
It's a laugh about a quarter of the time.
Yeah, so the director talked about this recently. It was kind of a high-profile indie. He has, I want to say he said he has like 4,100 Twitter followers, and he said he's sold less copies of the game than he has Twitter followers. The game cost him $160,000 to make, and it's selling for $20 on Steam. Steam takes 30% cut. So you can imagine he is a little bit in the hole. He feels okay about it because right now it's only on PC and Mac. So it's
What game is this?
It's called Where the Water Tastes Like Wine.
I know what it is.
It's kind of
but-
like an Oregon Trail style
Okay.
adventure game.
I mean, how does it have? Did it have any advertising? I've never heard of it.
It
until,
was on like a lot of the big Kotaku.
A lot of people are really excited about it. It's basically you travel across the country through different ways, and you talk to people, and you could choose to invest in their stories, or you can choose not to. But I guess it had like a whole lot of writers involved, and one like celebrity whose name I don't know.
Yeah, there was a celebrity a part of it. But anyways, I also checked Steam Spy, which tracks game sales, and I don't know if this is I don't actually know if this game was kickstarted or not, but it shows that there are 6,000 owners of the game. So I don't know if these stories produce more sales or there are streamers and
free CD keys.
Free CD keys that they gave out.
Or
but
liars.
It was just
Bold-faced liars.
Bold-faced. If you read the reviews by IGN or like Polygon, they basically said that it's a fun game, but it takes way too much time to play.
Yeah, and I could see that. I just wanted to bring it up because we talked about Steam and how many games launch weekly, which I want to say is
like
in the
200,
hundreds.
yeah.
Hundreds on a weekly basis. And I just want to bring up the fact that's like, if you are an indie developer right now and you are launching your game to Steam, just
Give up.
No, not give up.
Give up.
But
Just go home.
just be wary because, like, I think Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, if they do port it to Switch, PS4, Xbox, it probably could make its money back because it's close and it has a high profile.
But maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not, but like we talked with the developers.
But maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We talked with the developers of Aztez early or late last year.
Yeah, check out that interview. Brink did it. It's really good.
And they're really cool. And they talked about how they didn't make their money and they're trying to get on Switch right now to make the money back. But that's a common thing when 200 plus games are released on a weekly basis, and it's hard to be like to go against the Fortnites and PlayerUnknown. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was crazy. It was sad. I didn't know that game didn't make its money back.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Just kind of the cost of doing business and a lot of unknown factors in success in that way. So speaking of success, let's talk about Shadow of War's pulling the microtransactions 6 months after the game's release.
You want to take it, Donna?
No.
Okay.
Pass.
But he will.
Pass.
But I will. But I won't be happy about it.
Wait, so are you doing it?
Okay.
It's kind of like a will they won't they sort of thing.
Ooh, I like
Create
that.
I want
like
you guys
Ross
to
and
be
Rachel vibe
on
here.
edge right now.
I love the will they won't they if it's always sunny when they do the
Oh, yeah.
bar.
Yeah. Game's been out for 6 months. They're getting rid of the microtransactions. If you bought the in-game currency, you better spend it before July.
Or not.
They're not giving refunds.
Seriously?
Why though? Why do we know?
We don't know.
They were part of the beginning of that backlash against microtransactions.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat on.
What's funny though is that from what I understand with everything I read last year is that Shadow of War wasn't really particularly
offensive
with their microtransactions.
It was just a shortcut, right? If you want to finish the game faster.
Kind of. It was,
kinda.
to get you elite level stuff for people who have more money than time.
I imagine that games that don't bring a whole lot of money in microtransaction wise, I don't know if this game's microtransactions brought a lot of money, but if the game itself is not is not relying on this as like a source of income and like for stability, that publishers are going to be pulling it because of a lot of the backlash that's coming with microtransactions. Games like Activision Blizzard's, Destiny 2 and Overwatch, they're not going to pull it because it's like an integral part of the money that comes in through that game. I think Blizzard, they made like 50% of their earnings for last quarter were solely based on microtransactions, which is insanity when you consider the fact that, the government is really scrutinizing microtransactions. That's a lot of money that's potentially at stake.
Yeah, and I think it's an astute observation that is also coupled with the fact that
It's very astute of you.
It's a lot of
I
big
read
words
it.
there.
So
You're an ass toot. You know that? But no,
Was that the one fart joke for the show?
that is the one
That's the
fart
one.
joke. No more
JJ.
fart jokes.
I was
for the
gonna
rest
make
of
a
it.
good one
Don't
too.
bring attention to it.
I sat on the whoopee cushion earlier and recorded it. And you guys wouldn't let me keep that.
The whoopee cushion of life.
I want to hear more about how astute I was.
But no, I think it's a mix of that, and if the server cost is going to be more than they're bringing in, then they're going to cut it.
I read someone comment that. I also read someone said that that's not the case at all.
You don't think
servers
so?
are super cheap.
Then why would they not refund the players?
Or that the price of servers versus how much it would cost to actually take this stuff entirely out of the game would be, yeah.
I mean, maybe
Now their statement, of course, is probably corporate, but it said that they're taking it out because they realize it adds nothing to the Nemesis system, which is their main promise of the game. Their reasoning or their logic with that is that because you can essentially buy high level orcs, that you don't develop like relationships and quest lines with them because you're just buying high level characters for your army.
That is a good answer, though. That makes sense.
It is a good answer, but it was true at day one. It's true now. Why aren't you giving refunds to people if it's not because of money? Like,
well, maybe they're not giving refunds, but maybe they're giving
nothing. They said if you don't spend your money.
Well,
yeah, they said it turns into in-game items.
Oh, really? I thought they said that you had to spend your money in the store.
Or it will turn into in-game items.
It's also 2 months from now, so I mean that's plenty of time.
From what I understand, like people liked the game when it came out, so like
I think most of the complaints about the game had to do with the fact that it was just too much.
Yeah, it's a huge game, and that's why the microtransactions were there. So you could either play like 40 hours or you play 12 hours.
I heard it was closer to 80. Like I heard it was like 20 to 30, and then you get to the end. And there's an additional 40 hours of repetitive content to get to the end of the game.
It sounds like too much to me.
Yeah, that's what most people didn't like.
Well, anyways, that's an interesting topic, and it's always fun to talk about microtransactions in the legal landscape. I definitely think we should keep tracking that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same, I guess you could say, with people that bought into the paywall of like, oh, I want to unlock my characters with Battlefront. Did they get refunds?
With Battlefront, I
No,
don't
they
know
charge
how
them more money. Actually,
more money. I don't know how long that was even in place. I want to say like 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about the refunds, but I know games like Paragon that were out for 2 years and free to play where they made no money off it, they refunded everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
It's just a company by company thing.
I get that, and not everybody should do it, but I just think it's like, oh, hey, if you're gonna do this, other people have done it.
Sure.
You kind of look more like I think they could have left them in there and it wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our last Donna. It's the Dragon Ball Fighter 2. Jake, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So,
how would you tell everyone what it's called?
Dragon Ball FighterZ, as I was told before the show.
And those extra Z's are for sleeping.
Yeah. All right. So,
for Akira Toriyama wanting to sleep.
Yes, he's going to sleep. As you all know, or may not know, EVO is like an annual fighting game tournament, and it's usually dominated. Are you going to correct me?
No, keep on going.
Oh my god!
And it's usually Street Fighter is the game that people usually like to play there. But it says here that Dragon Ball FighterZ has more registrants than Street Fighter this year.
Probably because Street Fighter 5 has been sucky.
Okay, what are you gonna say? Like you're
I'm nothing.
No, tell me what you're gonna say.
I listened to last week's episode. I guess I usually call you an idiot or say that you're ignorant. And last week you miscalculated. You mispriced Hellblade and said you bet $40 on it when it was $30, even though I sent a text. So I'm just waiting.
Should we crucify Jink now or after the show?
I only do crucifixions every week. Okay. So I can just do one a week.
Well, Passover's already.
Easter's over.
You get to live another year, I guess.
I'm sorry, man. I won't crucify you this week, but I will do a past crucifixion.
What the listeners don't know is that even though the tension is running lava hot in here,
yeah, it's half
Jake and Brink are actually holding hands right now.
It's true.
Yeah, we are.
We were throwing a few smooches each other's way earlier, but
we got some hand tickles.
You heard
about the Notebook.
Have you heard of Footsie? They're playing Lipsy right now.
Nonstop.
Anyways, I got some numbers from Steam Spy. Dragon Ball FighterZ
Got all
has
sorts of numbers.
has all sorts of numbers. Has
Brank will correct all of them, even though you're quoting an article.
316,796 players, and Street Fighter V has 359,641. So
I think it's 42, man. This is Brank talking.
Round it up.
Well, Dragon Ball FighterZ, to be fair, is multi-console, and Street Fighter V is completely just Sony. So
Is it?
Well,
It's not
it's
on
PC, Sony, PC, PlayStation 4,
What is the
PC,
actual-
Xbox, PlayStation.
what is the PC count for
I don't-
Street
I
Fighter?
don't
5?
think so. Console.
The Steam,
It's on. Those are Steam numbers that we just got.
I don't think that console matters though. In specifically in the context of Evo, console wouldn't matter because if you're a professional game player, you're going to buy the console, you're going to play that game and follow it no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. I just wanted to ask you guys: do you think that we're gonna reach a time? Because there have been so many Dragon Ball games out. Do you think we're gonna reach a time now where Dragon Ball games are actually more popular than Street Fighter?
Everyone
No.
can answer but Brank. Go ahead, G.
I don't think so. I think Street Fighter, because Dragon Ball has had many games and has had many bad games.
Right.
This seems to be the first one that's like
Really
I
popular.
mean, I'm tempted to play it.
yeah.
So I don't think that it's going to overshoot Street Fighter. I think Capcom obviously really dropped the ball with Street Fighter V, which because everyone hated it when it came out because there was nothing there. And even still, it's still Sony exclusive, so it's not getting... As far as tournaments go, that's just always going to be different depending... Because there's different tournaments for different things. I mean, there's a tournament for more anime-oriented fighting games. I forget what it's called, but that one just went down over the weekend, I think.
And Evo has like recently been changing what it does. Like Smash is becoming very popular at Evo. Street Fighter
evolves.
Well, there's Smash and Tekken are the other like two games that people like to play there.
Yeah, it's just
Smash
For
4,
granted
right?
all the time.
I love that it's called Smash.
this Street Fighter has been like the most panned one, so it doesn't surprise me that's the one that is having the least players. You know, it makes sense. Nobody likes this one, so it's kind of like how Smash Brawl disappeared. Like that was a game that came out, everybody enjoyed it, but it wasn't a real competitive fighting game. Glad to hear Dragon Ball FighterZ is doing well though.
No, it's interesting because even though a game is a popular game or not a popular game amongst the pro gaming scene, doesn't necessarily mean the game is like not fun and people won't buy it. Like Street Fighter is such a family household name that it will make enough sales to sustain itself to the next game anyways.
Yeah.
I think the bigger story from Evo is the fact that Marvel vs. Capcom was dropped. And they
Really?
just released that one last year.
Yeah, they biffed that one.
I've heard that Disney was like... so this is just real quick. This is a Branky that I'm sliding in real quick.
Okay.
Disney, I guess this got out to people that they had a press release or something that went to Capcom that said that in all the trailers, no Marvel characters can be shown getting beaten up. So
Really?
they are that difficult of partners to work with that when they made the trailers,
Wow.
it just had to be Capcom characters that were taking a beating.
That is insane to me.
Like that, I can't. Like that's yeah.
Just
so
make a different
actually-
trailer where no one's beaten up.
I don't know if this is true, but I think I remember hearing that in the Fast and the Furious movies, in Vin Diesel's contract, as well as big guy, whatever his name is,
Rock.
The Rock. In their contract, they cannot lose a fight in the movie.
Wow.
Nice.
Did they negotiate that, or is that their?
I hope they did.
What if they fight each other?
They
both
did
win?
though.
They did fight each other,
Yeah.
and I think it was a draw.
Oh wow, that is.
But I'm pretty
hilarious.
sure in their
They both got
contract,
tired.
they cannot lose a fight in the movie.
All the listeners just saw that.
I wish we streamed the show for that.
And I wish we could zoom in right there.
And I don't know if it's true, but
Hand cam.
that's a rumor. Hand cam. That's a rumor for the contracts, and I thought that was.
I wonder what kind of crazy contracts they have for Star Wars.
Oh, dude, I don't even.
Mark
wanna
Hamill
know.
probably
It
broke
must be bad.
I want to read Rose's contract. All right, guys, you want to take a quick break? Quick break and hit the topic, or we get to just roll?
I'm ready to roll.
Let's roll.
I'm rolly to red.
All right, guys, we in the past.
I like that. Eric.
No, that's good.
No, I liked it.
I didn't hear it. What was it?
Just say it again.
It was a really shitty.
Brian, why don't you set it up?
It's actually not a pun, it's a spoon.
Are we ready to roll?
I'm actually rolly to red.
Okay, that is a spin.
Nonsensical.
Okay, so that being said,
Sorry, guys.
we're gonna touch on a quick little topic. Just touch on it. Back in the day, we used to do topics every so often. It's something that we want to bring back to the show. Today, we're gonna be talking about fatherhood or motherhood in gaming. And before we kick this off officially, I wanted to go around the room here and talk about some of our favorite motherly or fatherly figures in games that we've played. It can be recent, it can be a game that we played as a child, just any character that you really like, either that was a great fatherly figure to a character in the game or a character that spoke to you and is something that you like to implement in your own life, something like that. Is that...
I got one.
Okay,
If nobody else right now. This is Brank here.
Who?
Brank, you dumbass.
Jank, you're gonna have to put the explicit symbol on this episode because Brank has a potty mouth tonight.
I've been just lapping up that potty toilet water.
As a 16-year-old boy, he just learned to swear. These are
so good.
I've been watching all the swears and cusses online, and I'm getting good at them. Anyways, for the mother. For the mother, I would have to say...
Ironically, he loves things that taste and look like shit.
Did you say ironically or ironically?
Ironically.
All right, who's the Oedipus complex you got going here?
Speaks to me the most is Chrono Trigger's mom. I don't know why, but every time I think of video game mothers, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Do you ever think of naming him Chrono Trigger in the game?
Yeah, I think I do remember naming him Chrono Trigger.
Wait, give me an example of why that's funny.
Letters, because you can only name Chrono, and Trigger is the name of the game.
No, I know, but
he said Chrono Trigger's mom, as if his full name was Chrono Trigger.
I thought there was like some specific internet joke about if you named him Chrono Trigger, there was like a hilarious like double entendre or something with the mom.
Dude, get over that.
Stop bringing that up every episode before
every single episode.
But no, that's she's rad. And for the father figure, also RPG, he's not the father of Auron. Like, I don't know why, but I always feel like he's the father of Tidus for 10.
What the heck are you talking about?
Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 10. Auron is like this rad dude with a super long sword and
an injured arm or no arm.
Father of Tidus.
Yeah. He was just
Jekt is the actual father,
yeah,
but he's absent for most of the game.
Yeah, he's whatever.
Absent father.
Absentee father, man.
Absinthe father.
No, like, Auron kind of guides you, and he's just like a badass. Sorry, Mom, for that swear. Just that one. The rest are cool.
But he's not even a big guy like Kamari.
Yeah, but Kamari's not a dad, though. I like Kamari, but Kamari reminds me of like a lesser cool Umaru. These are all Final
Sounds like you're just reading like a sushi manga.
I am reading a lot of sushi.
Kamari's way cooler than Umaru. I mean, Umaru's great, but Umaru's just an ape.
It's all about Unagi, man.
Yeah, but there's no story with Umaru. It's just like, get this Yeti in your party.
And he's rad.
He is rad.
Okay, I'll let that slide.
Anyone else have any other fatherly or motherly figures that they want to touch on?
I always think of Dragon Quest V because in the game you actually get to become a father.
And you're the son at the beginning, right?
I believe. I mean, you have a dad in the beginning. So Dragon Quest V is a really interesting game, and it. Not to like harp on the series as a whole, but even though these games are probably the most bread and butter traditional Japanese role playing games, they also all have like really interesting little twists in them. And in Dragon Quest V, the twist is that the main character of the game is actually not the chosen one, but you are like a member of the chosen one's like bloodline. So in the game, you start as a child. And then you progress to a certain part of the story, then it ages you like 10 years. And then you have a choice. You meet a couple of different potential suitors throughout your quest, and you can pick one. And then it'll fast forward another 10 years to when you have kids. And your kids are the chosen one. So they're like, you actually get all the legendary equipment, but you yourself can't equip it. So you have to lead your 6-year-old son and daughter into battle with the overlord boss of like the end of the game. You have to like walk them along into these little dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Also sounds like child abuse.
Yeah, well, they're the chosen ones, so
yeah, but it's not if it's your child.
But it's fun, and there's a couple. The kids will look different depending on who you ended up like marrying and stuff. So
that's hot.
But those games are that's a great one.
You got a mother for us?
Mother figure.
You don't have to. Just
Malo from Super Mario RPG.
You have to come back to me on that.
Okay. Janky, who you got?
I was actually going to say Orin, but Brian took that. But I do have another one. Adam Phoenix from the Gears of War trilogy.
That was my number 2.
Because you actually, like, you spend 3 games trying to figure out, like, what the hell happened between him and Marcus.
And just have a dang game of catch with the guy.
Yeah. I just want to play catch, Dad. No, they do the mystery. They do a good job of like giving you just enough to keep you wondering, and then when it's over, they give you enough to be like, okay, well that makes sense to me. I don't really, that's closure. Like, then it's a very tragic relationship. Yeah.
For Donna, that was just a wall. So
no, it was a very tragic relationship, and I appreciated the story, the writing involved in that. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
What do you think of Marcus as a father? Because that was actually my number 2, not Adam.
They haven't really elaborated that much on that.
Gears of War 4 though.
No, they did, but there wasn't he didn't die or anything, so it's not like I'm sure there's more coming.
So
but
Dad's only a dad if he dies.
No, but it was just you knew that he was gonna be in the game though. Like that was
so
not
he's
like
rad.
a huge
He's
mystery.
a cool
He's
dad.
cool. He's cool, but we played 3 games with him as the protagonist.
You can't have this opinion, is what Brink's trying to say.
I'm wrong. You're an
Even though this is not a number per se, it can be broken down to binaries.
Thank you.
Zeros and ones. So.
It's going in the show notes.
Thanks, Jake. Jake, do you have any fatherly, motherly figures you want to...
Maybe Professor Oak from Pokemon.
Oh, I
because
thought you were going to steal mine, so I was really pissed.
Here you
for a
go,
second.
starting up. You're fatherless. You don't know where your dad's in. Did he leave you? It doesn't really say.
You don't
It's all about
really.
story.
And then
I think
you
Gary
don't
might
really,
be your dad.
You don't really know, and then this weird kind of creepy professor's like, "Hey, kid, go out in the wild and use these animals to just slaughter each other. But I believe in you, and you're gonna work for me, child abuse, right?
Yeah.
And get the Pokedex. You're doing my work for me. So at
What's
first,
a Pokedex?
Pokedex.
This is all. This is all very revealing of Vit's relationship with his father, right? Do you want to read into that at all, or?
Do you want to read into it?
Please elaborate.
Can
Papa
you please
Oak?
read into this? Yeah, your dad, Papa Oak.
Here's a little legal tidbit for you guys.
This is legal.
No matter what metaphorical situation you're talking about, the correct term is reading.
Did you ever read the fan theories that Professor Oak was banging Ash's mom?
I read those every night.
Dude, Jake, I totally thought you were going to choose Dr. Light. I can't believe you didn't choose Dr. Light.
I was
Specifically Dr. Light from Mega Man 8 with the bad voice acting, the Dr. Wowie.
Yeah, I've never played that game, but I know it.
That's the one where they had one take only, so there was he stutters. He's like, Mega Man, would you gotta go get Dr. Wowie.
That's so.
Is that a theme in Japanese games? Because
Get over it, Josh.
So, Frank, if you could add that into the show as a post, that'd be hilarious.
Get over it?
No.
Sure.
Why thing. That thing. Okay, so Professor Oak, do you have a mommy that you resonate with?
Would you mommy?
No,
Okay.
no, mommy.
I think Terra in Final Fantasy VI, because she basically has a journey to motherhood in that game,
Oh, nice.
is really cool.
She spawned Satan. That's the
Oh,
last
wow.
boss.
Is she a doula or?
No, she so instead of needing to have a love interest in that game, she actually finds meaning in post saving the world life by running an orphanage.
That's pretty cool.
Just your average garbage ending.
Yeah.
Average bullshit.
Okay, that's cool. So I'll do mine real quick. I think my father would be.
Who'd you
Wait,
choose
I didn't
as
know
your
this
father?
was who do you want as your father?
My daddy would be
Which dream daddy?
getting real Freudian up in here. Professor Light from Mega Man X, though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I really like the idea of him leaving behind a legacy after he's
After he's mutated you and strangled your corpse when you were a child and turned you into a monster robot.
dude. I don't.
That's what that's about? Holy crap.
Let's read into that.
What?
Regarding Brink's baby boy father.
I did not get that from past Mega Man.
Frank's actually half robot, guys. I know.
Oh, boy.
So what I really do like about it is the idea of leaving
About
behind...
it.
Wait, what?
About
The way you say about it was funny.
About it. Unrelated. I could not get one sentence out without your sister making fun of it in the house today. She kept like doing like a Valley Girl impression of me, and I was like, "What is happening?" Apparently, I'm a Valley Girl.
Totally.
So after she said, "Sorry, I'm making fun of you, Dave. You don't sound like a Valley Girl, but actually, you really do."
You like don't sound like a Valley Girl, but actually you really do.
That's pretty much it. So anyways, I like the idea of leaving a legacy behind. Something that that resonates with me now as a dad. I think it's really cool that game is just sort of like built on that mechanic where the dad or where the professor leaves behind these like upgrades for you and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. I'm not really sure if it's exactly applicable in my life, but I'm not going to be leaving behind upgrades for my son when I die right now.
You should.
You could try.
Just don't be Suiko'd in.
But yeah, I just think that was cool, and I think that he would be my
He'd be my real dad.
He'd be my real daddy if I could. And then mothers, I would pick Navi from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, because of the just like the.
Hey,
yeah.
I almost picked her.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, not gonna
She's
pick
too
her.
annoying, and everybody wishes she was dead the whole time.
And then I was thinking maybe the Great Fairies.
Nothing to see here, kids.
That was a callback.
Yes, it was. To my dad, Professor Light.
Hey, over here.
So what I like about Navi as a mother figure is, yes, sometimes she gets on your case a little bit, but she has your best intentions in mind. And without her, you couldn't beat the game, or the game would be completely different. So it's just one of those like fun, love-hate, but mostly love relationships that sometimes people have with their mothers.
But mostly hate.
Especially when you're growing up as a teenager and things like that. Obviously, relationships with moms are a little different when you're older, but when you're going through the throes of it, it can be tough to have a mother who cares about you. So I like those two characters.
And for any of our listeners, real quick, write us about your relationships with your mom. Just how's it going?
Specifically from an Oedipal perspective.
And we'll read it.
Edible.
And we'll read
Edible.
it. We'll read it. Do you play games with her? Does she approve? Disapprove?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Do you program her into games?
Yeah.
Do you name girl characters after your mom?
All right, this is getting very far off topic from fatherhood and gaming to
Far cry from where we started.
exactly 5 times removed.
This ain't no Kuni. No, that doesn't work at all.
That was like a Michael Scott attempt at joining
Which
in.
means it's amazing.
So I wanted to talk about continue the discussion on fatherhood and gaming. And we have 2 fathers here at the table, and the rest of us here do have
You
fathers.
didn't need to out me and Donna right on the podcast as the only 2 dads
Yeah, you
here,
two are
okay?
the only 2
I'm
dads.
16, but I'm still allowed to have kids, okay? So
Yeah,
don't
man.
stop me.
You're viable.
Right.
You're viable in that respect.
Virile. in that
Everybody at
respect.
school knows now. I'm done for.
So, anyways, I wanted to talk about the idea of bringing, as fathers or as mothers, if you're a listener and you're a mother, is instilling a love and passion for gaming in your spawn, and how you do that responsibly.
Respawn.
Yeah.
Responsible.
I love using spawn as a time for children.
I was trying to be as intimate as possible.
Or
No,
as
it's working.
devilly. Like there's your spawn.
I love Spawn. Actually, real funny story. When I was a little kid, I bought a Spawn toy from Target without my parents knowing. I bought it with my grandpa. I have a lot of stories.
I love your story.
I have one of those too.
So I bought a Spawn toy, and I bought one, probably one of the most evil looking characters. It's like one of those gray demon guys with like a big horn over his head. And I was just playing with it, and my dad's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's just a toy I bought with Grandpa." And he's like, "Is that Spawn?"
He knew.
That's spawn.
Oh, hey, there, Vit Vit.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're just wrapping it. We're talking about fatherhood and gaming.
The real Vit Vit is coming out to tell us about fatherhood.
Vit Vit's wife just did a little like Navy SEALs
She knows.
call.
She knows.
Hand gesture.
She said, "Go on for 20
A
more
Navy
minutes or
SEALs,
more."
actually.
A Navy,
if you will.
yeah. All right,
We only speak Army signals on the show, so we don't know what she was saying. But
so we're gonna have to like wind this down a bit. But I wanted to talk briefly about how we instill a passion for gaming in our children. Oh,
Finish up this story here.
oh wow, so sorry about that. Anyways, he asked me if it was Spawn, and
How did you know though? Was
Because-
he a fan?
No, because I had tried to buy that toy with him in the past, and he had said no.
Classic kid mistake.
But-
His dad also had a secret spawn room.
Spawn chamber.
You took the toy, you put it right there. next to
This is
his
my
toy.
shrine to Todd McFarlane, guys.
So I thought I was being smart because I didn't buy the exact toy that I wanted to buy with my dad. I bought a
had
different toy.
2 points less of articulation. Was that the?
I'm not sure I'm following.
No, Pat.
Anyways, I bought the toy. He knew what it was. I had to give it to him. I had to forfeit it to him. I bought it with my own money, which I was super mad about. But then instead of throwing the toy away, my dad decided to keep the toy in his in his closet on the top shelf that I couldn't reach. He just kept it there for years. And I always
Taunt you?
I don't know why. I asked him if I could get the toy down, and he's like, no. And I even asked him as like a high schooler, freshman, I asked him if I could have the toy just as like a joke, and he still said no.
And you asked him just last week.
I still asked him.
Where is it now?
I actually don't know. That's
Probably at the same shelf.
I think this weekend I'm gonna do a little fact
Please
finding.
God, I hope it's
little,
still in.
little ditch digging. see if I
The
can find
listeners
that.
really want to know for next week.
So all that being said,
We'll get back to you on that.
I was curious. Maybe we can start with Vit. How are you planning to instill a passion for gaming with your children? You know, you have a daughter now, and your wife is expecting.
It's a boy.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I beat life.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
That's how life works. You beat people with it.
Yeah.
So how are you planning on instilling a passion in gaming in your children? If you are, I don't want to assume that you are.
No, I'm going to. Well, first off, it's not just video games. It's going to be reading. It's going to
Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah, Nicholas Sparks, right?
Frankenstein.
We know that. Frankenstein, Dracula.
Frankenstein.
We're going to paint for some Frankenstein on his wall in his room.
That's great.
First off, I mean, when you're talking about kids, and everything I've read is when you do the activity with them, kids naturally, even if they don't even understand the activity, like piano lessons, I was like, they want to see that you're doing it with them, because even if they don't understand what they're doing, they see that it's important to you, and like kids are pretty drawn to that. So doing things with kids is going to help you mold what they like, at least a little bit.
It's like a memory too. You're creating a memory with
Yeah,
them.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
kids
I
are
agree.
a lot of kids are pretty eager to please their parents. They want to
Taunt them with it too. Like,
And
hey, I'm so much better
And
than
then when you get them to love it,
Kids are
you can-
notoriously dumb.
they're not smart. And then I want to start with the classics, because who knows if they're gonna, get over the older graphics, But like when you're a kid, the difference between live action and animation. I mean, you get it, but you don't like you don't care about the quality as much. So I want to try and get them to like the 8-bit, the older games while they're young.
I think this confirms. I mean, just you alone confirms my entire theory. But no, I've talked about it before. I think the idea that the generation of like kids that our age group has will probably be better gamers than the 10-year-olds now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's because the parents of that generation, people in their 40s
Didn't
or
know
so
what
now,
the hell they were doing.
They just didn't really care. It's like they don't have a nostalgia for. They didn't grow up like we did during the Super Nintendo era. So gaming is either like a nerd thing, or it's just like not an important thing. So that's why their kids just play Candy Crush and Clash of Clans on iPads and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I will never let my kids do that just because they're bad games.
Give them something
It's
that's
like-
good, yeah.
That's why I'm so thankful for the transcendency of the Super Nintendo era, as in those games are playable no matter what generation you're from, because they look so great and they're so playable and so smooth that it's not like
It still works.
Yeah, to show a kid that game, like there are plenty of games that are coming out now that in a lot of ways look just like those games. So I don't think that will be an issue now for you, V, and me also. Is your child like thinking that older games are dumb because they're dated looking, or they're not the games that their friends are playing? I think maybe as the kids get older, the games that you play with them will have to change to adapt to their play a little bit. I don't really know. But what we talked about a long time ago, I don't know if it was on the show, but we talked about this guy who he had this rule with his son where he has his son play a game from his old catalog, and then his son can play a game from his current catalog that he wants to play, like a modern day game. So he would play like I think it was you telling me about this, Brink. I think it was. He was like.
It's actually Brink's dad does that with him now.
Wow.
Dad, a 74-year-old man.
Just before or after catch.
Who grew up in the 50s, knows all about video
Now, son,
games.
if you want that game of catch, you're going to have to play some regular Nintendo.
Does that mean he won't buy his son a new game until he plays an older game?
I don't know the exact rules, but
He won't let his son out of his room.
What are the rules?
The house. So I don't know the exact number of rules, but it was like. So one of the games that the dad wanted the son to play was Shadow of the Colossus. So his son wanted to play like Skylanders or something like that. So he's like, you can play Skylanders once you beat Shadow of the Colossus. And so then once you play Skylanders for a certain number of hours, you have to play the next game in my catalog that I want you to play. So it was basically the dad's way of ensuring that the son had a good like baseline of great games that are classic games that the son may not necessarily seek out on his own. So I thought that was a cool way to go about it. Obviously, like every kid's different and every relationship is different, so you have to do it your own way. But I think now, like what you guys were talking about, is like just doing the activity with your child is like the most important thing. And something that I'm trying to be, because there's other things that I want to instill in my children as well, aside from a passion in gaming.
Wait, not just video gaming?
Not just gaming, I know.
This is a video gaming podcast.
Yeah,
so
I read the Constitution to them before they go to bed. So.
I really want to instill in my kids the law.
The Old Testament specifically.
Profession.
John Locke.
John Locke.
John Locke and Adam Smith.
Spelled L-A-W-K.
Oh, man.
So with that though, like just encouraging them and doing it, but then also like nurturing their own unique ideas and things like that, and just hopefully they come to the things that you want to do as well. So just like encouraging yet being respectful of their own wishes, and obviously that will become more of a battle as they get older. But
how many sports are you gonna force your son into?
All the sports. We are gonna make Eli do at least one sport. Because I think it's good for every kid to try to do sports.
Right. Does esports?
Well, probably
esports.
Well, Evan said esports counts, so I guess he could just.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it's
VR.
a loophole. He figured it out.
Loophole. So, anything else you wanted to talk about? Vit Vit?
No, I mean, just a small thing to add. Like my parents said, for every 2 books I read, they would buy me a new video game.
That's
and
a cool
to this
rule.
day, I am still a reader because of that. And
Do they still buy your games?
they still buy me a game every 2 books I read.
And those books you can read are just like Dr. Seuss books.
No, they're not doctors. They have to be. They had to be a certain length.
They're chapter books.
A little known fact is that he can't actually read.
No.
Yeah.
But he can turn pages.
Oh, man, can that fool turn a page?
He just turns his
It's a really good pace. They don't know I'm not reading it.
It's really it's about counting. That's his real weak spot. Is
Right.
learning to
No,
count.
I'm not good at that either.
Yeah, that's why he's got to turn those pages. 1, 2.
I just count to 10 and then start back at 1.
Yeah.
So what people are getting from this podcast is that most of us are illiterate because Brent can't read.
Hey.
It's a lot of haze.
That's literally true.
He just
Finger pointing 150 back.
he just knows numbers.
I think good tasting games is very instillable. Like, because around 3 would have been the time that my dad was playing Zelda with me, and that was like my jam pretty much until now. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like a lot of my like childhood imagination was shaped by playing Zelda with my dad. So,
And most of mine was influenced by Eric, because my dad and mom still don't even know what video games are. So
You should talk to them.
You should tell them the truth, okay?
I would go to my dad and be like, buy whatever Eric was playing.
But-
Yeah.
And he would.
Even though my parents didn't play games, like most of my
They
memories...
know what games were, tag.
Most of my memories of games were like being a kid and going to the game store with my dad and getting... So, I mean, even if you're not... even if they don't understand, there was like a feeling of like, hey, they want you to have this fun thing and try out something new, even if they can't figure it out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's really important to like shaping the preferences, and like I think that's a cool thing. But at the same time, I don't think it's like the only way to instill a passion for gaming.
You can use Sphear.
Yeah.
Sphear, I hear works very well.
You tape their eyes open, you start the loud music, you put
Or
on the
harsh
game.
criticism.
Huge. Well, I've talked about this on the show multiple times, but like playing games with my dad was definitely one of my pastimes growing up. a game that I don't think I've talked about on the show that I played with my dad was Red Alert 2.
Nice.
Those are probably some of like my favorite.
Like Nerd Alert too.
Oh man, we got a nerd here.
Did you guys ever play Red Alert 2? Did you guys play it?
Red Alert 2?
Red Alert 2.
It's like calling.
Did you ever say it right?
Get over it.
I like calling Dave a nerd when we talk about Kamari and Umaru.
Yeah, sushi menu items.
Unagis.
That unagi is an eel. Unagi, eel, Friends, Chandler, Matthew Perry, Fallout New Vegas, Benny.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I like that game.
There's a few steps I left out, but you get it. But yeah, Red Alert 2, playing with that with my dad was probably like one of my favorite memories, not just like video game related, but just like me and my dad related. So I'm hoping to have a few of those with my son, and we already are having like really fun video game memories. So I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah. And, for our listeners, write us about what your hopes and dreams of being a father is like. Let us know.
Even if you're women.
Tell us about your sons.
Tell us about what you do with your children.
There's a lot of things that you shouldn't do after listening to this podcast.
Listen to this podcast with your parents. It's really and clean. Just do it already.
And just as a reminder, drain your ears beforehand.
You're going to want to drain your ears.
Because we will know.
And tell your friends.
We know, because like
review us.
3 of you are getting emails after this.
I've been jingling keys all day.
Are we winding down this topic, or does anything?
I'm donezo.
You're donezo.
How do you guys feel?
I have a lot of abandonment issues with.
Well, I'm donezo, man. I'm leaving you. Okay. Stop crying.
Dad's got a suitcase, but he said he was just going to the grocery store.
I'm just getting some cigarettes, boy. Okay. Watched I Can Only Imagine this last week. It reminded me of Daddy Issues.
What is? Well, I Can Only Imagine. That's a worship song, right?
Yeah, the movie.
Brank specifically, when he says daddy issues, he's talking about a magazine he subscribes to called Daddy.
Mother boy.
And various issues of it that he has.
I don't think we want to go into that.
There's a big cricket paddle on the cover.
Yeah. It's my favorite magazine.
Jank, you want to talk about your illegitimate children and your gaming habits?
I'm not ready for that yet.
Okay, all right. Maybe watch. Maybe watch Delivery Man a few more times, and then you can kind of talk to us.
Or the Santa Claus.
Yeah, or the Santa.
Or Santa Claus. Yeah.
Tim Allen's the Santa Claus.
What's that?
I meant Jingle All the Way, actually.
There we go.
Wasn't there a movie with Vince
we're talking
Vaughn
about
where he
Santa.
had like 130 like illegitimate
Delivery
children?
Man.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
just
Yeah,
said.
just made that joke. All right.
Well, anyways, guys, I think we're gonna sign off here. In closing, this week we have a Vit Vit Mesquite interview that's going to drop with Danny Higgith of Delve Interactive.
Danny Hayes.
It'll have already dropped by the time.
Yeah, I think it's already
Oh,
out now.
it's already dropped?
Yeah.
By the time you. And
Oh,
I'm
by the
pointing
time
to you,
you-
the listener. By the time you listen to it.
Yeah, maybe I should drain my ears because I'm having trouble.
You're gonna need to get those.
Not while we're recording.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a sound you don't want on the air.
All right, and then so definitely keeping a drained ear out for that. You're gonna want to check that out. And then next week, Dr. Donna, we're gonna post an interview that he had with David Amadera. Is that how you say his name? Amadala.
No.
I think I wrote it correctly, but
Okay.
Amadora?
Of Upfall Studios. So definitely check that out.
He is Upfall Studios, so Google it. We're wrong.
Yeah, so we're really grateful for those interviews and for the dudes who did those interviews. So thanks a lot.
And the dudettes. I don't think we've had a dudette interview yet, but we will one day.
Well, and remember, guys, when you listen to the episode this week, listen with your parents.
Yeah, listen with your parents, your loved ones.
Sit at one of those old-timey radios.
But
in
all honesty, guys, we really do love doing this show for you guys, and we want to keep doing it. And one of the ways that we will keep doing it is if you share the show with your friends and your loved ones and your parents
and your children
instill
your children's children.
a passion for this show and your children. But for reals though, definitely tell your friends about the show, rate and review it. It really helps us out. It encourages us, and we want to keep doing that. So as always, hit us up on email, superbscast@gmail.com. Rate and review us, and then hit us up on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Any closing thoughts, you little guys?
A butt's a butt.
I think we should end on that.
That to us people that can feel things, it hurts.